Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. LAPEEF family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. What's going on, family? What's going on? Welcome to LAPEEF in Sundays on the LAPEEF Network. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Good.
A little earlier than normal, but I'm good.
A little earlier than normal. My apologies, man. My apologies. I know it's early, but we're going to church today. We're going to church today. Church say amen.
Shout out to the
Amen.
heathens.
Amen.
Shout out to the heathens.
Yeah, that's to the heathens, man. Well, it's good to see you guys in attendance. If it's your first time, welcome. I think it's going to be a great show today. Let me see who we got in the chat already. Ed Hill. Now, people just falling off. If you start to hear the word, it's a little different, huh? Hey, are y'all with me? Y'all got to give me some excitement. Come on.
We here.
Like
We
that.
Come on,
Like
congregation.
that,
Hold on.
That
You
is
sure,
right.
you sure you going to church or you going to an Anthony Hamilton concert?
He ain't starting already. He ain't starting already.
Nothing
That's
love,
what I
my
would
brother.
wear. That's what I would wear if I was going to see Anthony Hamilton.
All right, shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. Make sure you guys click that link, 30% off along with a free gift. That's the only way that you're able to get the 30% off along with a free gift is by clicking that link. Shout out to all the Green Gang. If you want to become a member, that link is pinned to the top of the chat right there. That is the way to become part of Green Gang. Let's make sure we mute in between. I know I'm hearing some feedback. Let me see who was that. We got balance. Okay, Shan.
I can
Jay.
hear you now. What's
Okay.
up?
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get the show started. I know you missed all the fun. Everybody already untied already. So
Oh, it looked like wherever you going, it's gonna be lit.
you think
Okay.
so?
Yeah, I want to go.
Okay. We're gonna have to see if we can fly everybody out.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get the show started. Our first topic of this morning, maybe afternoon for some folks. No, still morning for everybody. Still morning for everybody. Hold on, let me pick up Curves. We got Curves in the house. Our first topic is how important is a mental connection for a man in a relationship? How important is a mental connection for a man in a relationship? We always talk about the woman, but I'm just curious, what about the men? Does it make a difference? Let's go ahead and talk about it. We'll go ahead and start with Luis first on this one.
I would say that, the beauty attracts you, but I think that the mental connection, that mental stimulation is what really keeps you there, right? Because I've always found that, there are plenty of beautiful women out here, right? You find them at the mall, shopping center, gym. But I think that once you have that sort of mental connection with someone, like that natural chemistry, it almost seems like you have like a symbiosis connection, right? You're both kind of just vibing, having conversations on a deep level about the things that you care about, the things that you value, and I think that those things have a stronger foundational whole because I mean, beauty will always fade, but I think that emotional mental connection will always be there, and I think it's rare to kind of find that in the next person that you tend to date or move about because not everybody shares the same sort of values or the same sort of mindset that you do as well. So that's my thought on it.
Okay. Curls, let me try to run up out of here. I was coming to you next. You not ready? 1 second? Okay. I'll give you 1 second. Make sure you see the ushers on the way out. Balance. What are your thoughts about that? Mental connection when it comes to a man in a relationship. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I don't know how any long-term relationship can sustain without a mental connection. I think that's what we're seeing with most of these situationships. There is no mental stimulation. They're just having this physical attraction and these physical moments, and then it's over months later. So I say all the time, like, start with the mental. Like, the physical is always going to fade. We know that. But if you have that mental connection, I feel like you can make it through anything. For me, I can't even be attracted to a man if I don't have the mental stimulation from him. I don't care how good he looks because looks are nothing. Like it's so surface. So if we don't have that mental connection, it's just not going to last long term. So I say go after the mental connection. That's yeah.
Brother Hink, do you need a mental connection with a woman? What are your thoughts?
Fellas, y'all better. At the end of the day, doesn't matter how good she cooks. Doesn't matter how good she gives you good loving. None of that matters. How clean her house is. None of that matters. Because if her mindset is jacked up, you wasting your time. All those could be great things. She could do all those other things great. I mean, on a level of 1 to 10, she could be a 10. But if her mind is not right, that don't mean anything. She gonna send your ass to the central state, driving you crazy. If y'all not mentally connected and her mental is not where your mental is, that's very important for any man to have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? If she says she's your piece, then she literally has to be your piece. I can't come home from a stressful day and now I got to deal with the mental issues I got to deal with. And if we're not on the same vibe, understand it. You know, I work in a high stress job, and she the first thing she want to do is complain about all the trash need to be taken out, or the yard needs to be cut, or this or that. Now you like, man, Jesus, what did I invest into? So, mentally, sometimes things don't need to be said because she can just see, because she knows you. She knows you inside as well as outside. She understands what you're going through, what you're dealing with, you know, hopefully due to the great communication that y'all should be having. But just because she can see the stress on your face. So she mentally know it's not the right time, it's not the right place to even have that conversation. How about I step back? We'll talk about it, maybe over dinner, after dinner, or maybe, while I just lay in the bed right before we go to bed, just make mention, hey, baby, on the way out to work, could you, make sure you take the trash out. And sometimes it don't need to be said. Here, just look over and acknowledge, yeah, you're right. Got to do that. So
I think that the mental connection also leads to better communication at times. I think, I think Balance hit it on the head. She was like, these situations are kind of crashing out, right? Because a lot of people don't have that good mental connection, but also their communication is very terrible. So that's why those tend to have an expiration date rather than a longevity.
Ali, Dreams, I'm going to go to you next. Welcome to the panel. What are your thoughts?
Hi, guys. I think that relationships should be ran as a business. So you should go in it with that type of mindset. So when you're interviewing and vetting people, if they don't have the same mindset as you, how can you run a household, business, anything in the future? And, if y'all not on one accord, it won't work out. And a lot of times men will go off the looks, and get into the bed with a woman, but won't be able to connect mentally with her and wonder why, things won't go any further, and the woman vice versa. So it's very important that men understand that relationships are like a business. And what looks good on the outside might not be good for you in the long run. And mental sapiosexual, Google it, and get in tune with it. That's my opinion.
So are you saying that men should approach it as a business, but women should approach it in what perspective?
The same way. I think that, is no sex war type thing here with this rule. Women should do the same thing when they're vetting a man.
Do you find that a lot of women are approaching it that way? Do they move and operate in that sort of manner?
Yeah,
sort of
I find that men, honestly, I find that men don't do this. They tend to go off the looks, the Instagram, how many followers, if she got a banging body, good looks. And then, get intimate with her and then try, it won't go any further because he's compartmentalized her into this section. And then, it keeps repeating itself. So I think men don't do it as often as women. Women, we try to look at the whole entire picture. We do a lot more research on a man. My opinion, I don't know if y'all agree, but I think that we try to see if the man's mental, if he's a boss, he got a business that says he could probably run a household if he could run a business, right? But, what do you think? Do you think men are doing this when they're dating and vetting women?
No, I don't think.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Lou.
No, go ahead, Hank. I'll go after you.
No, I was going to say younger men may be responding like what you're talking about. Somebody 18 to maybe about 25. That's how they move, just on strictly looks. But man, somebody 26 to the end of their time, they don't move like that. They don't move like that. They don't think like that. And to sit there and say we don't research or watch or pay attention. Oh yeah, we do. You just don't know it.
Well,
it's not the same. Our research is not the same as y'all research. How y'all research and what y'all research for. A lot of research on, like you said, maybe his looks and his income, and maybe his job title. But men look at beyond that. I got to look at the whole picture now.
Well,
I'm talking about being older than.
Let me ask you something.
You was expressing about.
So, if this is the case, then why are men like the number one entity in nursing homes if they know how to vet their partner? You know what I mean? And they know. I'm just trying to find the correlation between the statistics. Because I'm not going based off the men I know. Yeah, like Black men and men in general are like in nursing homes, lonely at the end of their life because of that vetting. This is statistics. I'm just going
old people, men and women are in nursing homes, smashing each other crazy, getting STDs in the whole nine. They're not. It's not one or the other. You know what I mean?
Well, if you look up the majority,
because you can sit there and say about an old woman's in a nursing home. They're both could be in a nursing home maybe because of reasons why their kids maybe can't afford to take care of or take them in because their career won't allow them to. Now, to me, it's a selfish child, but it happens.
The reason why I threw that statistic out there is because they're saying that men are, as a general, not just Black, white, no matter the race, they are ending up in nursing homes because they don't have a partner. It's not about like finance. It's not about, and the woman.
I'm in a nursing home. We both may be at the probably same stage, old and really can't take care of each other. His wife probably can't get up and down the steps anymore, and probably should be moving into a one-level home, a shotgun house. But they chose to keep the home because maybe they want to gift it to the kids or maybe the grandkids. So they chose to keep their home, but they really can't afford to keep up with these homes. You got that all the time.
So do you know a lot of 30, 40, 50-year-old men that are married that have vetted a woman to put in their household? Do you know what's the majority, single or married, of the people that you know personally?
Personally, I know most of my friends are married. Most of the people I call friends are married.
Okay.
There's 2 single dudes out of 5 of us right now. There's 2 single dudes. I'm divorced. He has my other buddy just hasn't got married yet.
Would you say you're divorced because you vetted right or you vetted wrong? I just wanted. That's my last question. I'll let y'all have the floor.
My marriage.
Oh.
I failed my marriage. That's why I'm divorced.
Okay. Well, that's very commendable.
Ma'am, I know you're not used to accountability. I know you got your little circle of friends. Y'all don't hold each other accountable. But now you're the man who's being accountable.
Excuse me, Mr. Hank.
I failed the marriage, ma'am.
Okay, well, listen. Let's not personalize these topics.
Ma'am, you just did that.
No, I asked you a question.
And was your question not a personal question about me?
No, I'm saying you said that I'm not used to. You don't know what I'm used to.
Okay, but you said we're not going to personalize, but you just did when you asked me a question about my marriage.
I didn't tell you that you're a failure. You said that you're a failure yourself.
No, I understand that. I understand it. But
let's move on. Let's move on, sweetie. Because we won't you don't know me.
It's so
from a can of paint. You don't know me from a can of paint to say that I don't know men that are accountable, but you will say that because
I just say
you said you're used to men not being accountable or women.
And I said we used to be around women who are not accountable. Most of y'all not. Y'all don't hold each other accountable. I've seen many times on this show, women don't hold other women accountable.
Well, I'm new to the show, and I hold myself accountable.
LAPEEF Sunday, baby.
I appreciate you welcoming me.
Where's the sound
with some trauma?
This is the welcome.
Where my ladies at?
I'm mobile right now.
Where are my ladies to help me? Y'all just gonna leave me in the
jungle? I frankly don't agree with what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Where are my ladies at?
Yeah, I don't agree.
Hold on, make it to Precious.
I don't agree. Men, if you're seeing that men aren't vetting women in that capacity, maybe it's just a group of men that you're around, because most men are logical. They're going to vet for mentality because they want peace of mind. It's not necessarily that they want peace at the house clean. They want peace that they're getting cooked for. They want peace of mind, meaning that when they come in from being out, they don't want to still feel like they're still out in the world with their woman. So most men are going to vet you. They're going to know who the bust down is as opposed to who wife material is. And men know that real quick. It don't take much. When you start opening your mouth, then it's very easy to identify who you are. For men.
Okay. Can I respond to that?
Sure.
Okay. I think that I absolutely agree with you. I never said that men don't know how to vet. I said they're not vetting when it comes to relationships. I think that when it comes to the word situationships and side piece, these are men terms. Women don't go around calling themselves side pieces and I'm in a situationship and glorifying that. I think this is a way for a man to compartmentalize different women in their lives. So as you stated, you're absolutely right. They do know how to vet, but do they follow that as a whole? I don't know, because where does side piece come from? Where does situationship come from? And then wait, go ahead.
Yeah,
so I
gotta step in for a second, because you used Instagram as your launching pad for your entire premise and argument, right? I find that Instagram is just more of eye candy. And I think you're conflating short-term attention for long-term retention.
But that still doesn't deflect from what I said. If it's true, it's true. I said that there are men who go around compartmentalizing women, knowing that this woman isn't mentally connected with him, but he's physically attracted to her, and he's will. Right. And then he will become sexual with her. But this is also, just because you're a man doesn't make you not want the best for yourself. So if you know that a young lady is not mentally prepared to be a woman in your life, don't sleep with her. Don't even talk to her. Don't compartmentalize her and use her as a side piece or a situationship. This is what I'm speaking on. I'm not directing it towards the man on the panel because I don't know you from a can of paint. This is my first time on here. So I would appreciate if everyone yes, I did use Instagram as an example because I know a lot of women who look good, who have 80,000 followers on Instagram, who don't know how to even add, who
Pay
can't
a light
read.
bill.
Exactly. So, and I know them, and they sit courtside every game, and every celebrity wants them, but they're also compartmentalized. They're not wifed. They're not, but they still got men in their face that know that, hey, this woman isn't right for me, but I still want her
Short-term
around.
attention.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
But
so
you know
we're in
what they want them
agreement
for,
there. Right. So we're saying
She's
the
a
same
throat
thing.
genie.
The 20 minutes, that's all they want them for.
What was the
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let me get Curves in there.
They don't
Hold
care
on,
about
let
you.
me get Curves in there.
They want you
Go ahead,
20
Curves.
minutes.
I
What are your thoughts?
kind of missed the question. It went out for a second. I know you're talking about mental. What was the question?
It's flashing at the bottom. Can you see it at the bottom there? I'll read it to you, but can you see it? I'm just curious. How important is mental
My bad.
connection for a man in a relationship? Did you hear it?
I mean, I really can't speak, but I would say it has some level of importance to them, especially if they want to be in a relationship with you. I don't think they were just a bust, but if they be with you, a mental connection is important. And like I've said, it's important to set up a certain type of atmosphere for your man. So you're not in the shit of him, or catering to. Sometimes I think women do, like, it's easy to not think about a man's mental. It's like, he's a man, but you know what I mean? Like, I think setting the right tone, sure you're watching him and you realize when he's not at a place where he wants to talk, or when you just need to just back off and pick a different day to address certain things is important. But yeah, I would say important if they want to be seriously. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Miss Shan Monet. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, this is a guess because I've never been a man. So it's hard for me to know what men think, but I'm just going to take a wild guess. I would assume so. For the smart men, I think the mental connection is very important. I think somebody asked a question, well, how can guys be this way if they're logical? Who said that? Just a few seconds ago. I think that
It was me. I said it.
You said that? Well,
Yeah.
I think that logic and morality are two different things. So guys can have put logic into something, but that doesn't mean their morals are going to play an important part in that decision. But I do think, I would hope mental stimulation, what's it called when you're mentally stimulated to somebody because you guys it just turns you on a little bit. What's that called? It's a
Sapiosexual.
one of those sexuals. So, and like I think somebody mentioned earlier, just your day by day, if you guys don't think alike, if you're not on the same page, I can only believe that's going to be more arguments because you don't value the same things. You're just not connecting with each other mentally. It'll just be a sexual situation, I suppose. And it's probably one of the few things that keeps her in the sexual relationship and doesn't progress her to being the wife, possibly. Again, I don't know. Never been a man. That's what I got.
Brother Jay, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think definitely a mental connection is one of those things that put cushion in the relationship. You know what I mean? Like, she can see it on your face. She can see it in your eyes. She knows that something's going on. And a lot of times we move around and people have no idea what we're going through. You know what I mean? We walk into a workplace, we walk into a supermarket, we walk and we be like zombies because we, playing so much stuff in our heads, whether we beating ourselves up about something that failed or, just a bunch of things, man. Your relationship with your father, your family, whatever it is, man. We walk around and, smile and wink and what's up, nod, but meanwhile, all that stuff is turning. A mental connection is, you have somebody there that will let you walk in the house, go to your man cave, sit down, kick your feet up, and they'll just know, like, let me give him a second. He might be hungry. He might be thirsty, He might want some chicken and waffles. He might want some, whatever. Somebody that's able to read that energy. And I mean, that helps a lot. You know what I'm saying? That
You're
makes you
thinking
feel
more
good.
telepathy, right?
I mean, not read your mind. Nah, I mean, even though that's what everybody expects everybody to be nowadays in the dating game, like, he should know. Not that, more just feeling a person out, knowing what they're going, knowing how they work things out, and seeing that they're working something out and knowing what to do to cater to that. That's what I call a mental connection.
Jay, can I ask you something? If you don't mind, LAPEEF, I just want to ask you, do you find it hard for men to develop this either with a woman or with anyone in society, period, just to be able to open up emotionally without being judged or called a cake or
absolutely.
Is it hard for a man to open up and get these type of connections, or is it easy?
It's hard. Absolutely, it's hard, because the minute that there's adversity between the two, then that's gonna be weaponized. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you bitch ass nigga, you wasn't saying that when like, I know this chick who threw something up in this dude's face about him being molested when he was young, yo. You feel what I'm saying? Like, threw it up in his face during an argument. This was something he opened up to her about. I couldn't even imagine how hard that would be to, as a man, to say, yo, this happened to me. And then you gonna throw it like, nah, I can never. And then, I feel sorry for the next person that he deals with, because that's just as much he's gonna keep in, because she threw that up in his face during the argument. During the argument that ain't had nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Just bow, here, nigga.
But also, too, I think there's a point, Jay, where you do open up. I mean, I don't think in general or even in mass, men are out here opening up and being vulnerable to every woman that they're dating, courting, or even in a situationship with, right? I think that there's a select few that do it. And I think that takes time. I mean, it's like a gradual climb with that, with that level of vulnerability, right? Because it's like it's like giving the most sacred part of yourself to someone else and trusting that they don't use that and weaponize it against you or throw it up in your face, like the example that Jay just finished giving. And I think that comes with that mental connection. I think when you establish that solid foundation, that real mental connection, right, and you're both in cool with each other, I think that that's when that happens. Those tough conversations, those intimate conversations about yourself and about your past or any transgressions that you might have had, right? That's when you have those. I think people are missing all the steps. They're going from one and jumping into five as opposed to going through 1, 2, 3, 4, making sure that people are effectively listening to you, showing up in a particular way in your life, right? And you watching how they move, how they move with friends, family, how they conduct themselves, even with coworkers or even with other mixed circles, right? I think it's important to kind of evaluate and see that before you can kind of just open up and share that with someone. Because if people are just going from, from day one all the way to, the fifth step in like just a week, that's why a lot of these situations are failing, because people are not properly vetting out the people who are not really well aligned with them.
Facts. Yeah. And another thing, last thing, I think we share stuff with the wrong people. Like, to your point, that them Instagram models that you was talking about that look good but can't rub two pennies together, they are deviants. You know what I'm saying? And they've been through a lot. Trust me, they've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Foreclosures, out on the street, couches, TVs, out
teeth
there,
knocked out,
knocked out, etc., etc. So, you like, damn, whole world done crashed down on that. If I could share anything with anybody, of course it would be this person who done got their teeth knocked out. And what I've got done to the 10th power, that should be nothing for them to handle, but hurt people. So the minute that they know they're going to use that against you, because that's your Achilles heel. So I think a lot of times that's another thing. We disclose stuff like that to the wrong people. The right people are professionals, realistically.
And that's kind of what I was saying earlier, that how the society just doesn't allow the man to be so vulnerable when he's entering into these relationships because it can't be used against him. So that's why I was saying that men should be able to have those mental connections more, but it is a wall that you have to break through because, you know, society doesn't tells men, hey, don't cry, man up. What you crying for? You got to be a man, you know? And how can you really be vulnerable enough to build a mental and emotional connection with the woman right away if you have society telling you can't cry or you can't open up and express yourself? Not all men, of course, but when that happens, like he said, it might get thrown in his face. So I was speaking to that.
Well, man don't have no problem with being vulnerable with another man because we both have an understanding. The problem comes when we try to share it with that woman. Again, like Jay said, it's thrown up in your face. So men test these chicks. We're going to talk about it later, and I'll speak on that more too. But I wouldn't give him nothing major. Like what my man said, he was sexually violated by whatever sex that was. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't share nothing like that. Not with a girlfriend, not with a fiance. Now, if she's my wife, and I blessed her with my last name, then I could share something like that with her. And pray and hope that you vetted her well, and then she wouldn't throw nothing like that back in your face. But I would share something small. I lost my job because I got caught stealing copy paper from the copier. You know, something stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I ever did shit like that, but I'm just saying, something that's small. Don't judge me, y'all.
I definitely judged you. I was like, wait.
I know you did. I expect
them boxes
you came
on your
for
day
me,
off.
baby. I saw why you came for me. You still a copy paper.
No, I don't steal copy paper. Now, come March Madness, I'm going to play plenty copy of brackets. I'm not going to lie.
Brother Hink. Anybody else want to add anything? Once, going twice. It gone.
Yeah, but it's hard, man. You good, JR? Or you frozen?
I think he's frozen.
I'm frozen?
No,
you're not frozen on my
Still.
You were.
Okay. Well, just let me know if I freeze again. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to LAPEEF ING Sunday. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off on a free gift. That link is in the description. If you want to become part of Green Gang, that link is pinned to the top of the chat. Come on in and go green. That's the way you want to go. Got a few super chats that came through, so let me comb through these real quick. Marcus Evans says, what up to the panel? No Thursday energy. Try to be good with the $5. Appreciate you, sir. Honey, 499 also remember says, absolutely, a man has a mental connection with the woman he takes seriously and weds. They move as one, and to an outsider, it looks flawless. I had that conversation before, man. You could just kind of tell the people that's happy after spending many years together. They just vibe a little different when they're out in public compared to some other folks. They just sitting there on their phones, just scrolling. Unik again, 999 says the mental connection for men takes time and has to be nurtured by his woman. And if she handles him properly, her access to his vulnerability will be endless. And lastly, B Sharp 189 says TU in the house. Shout out to the Skigi fam, Shante. Okay. Another one says, my man JR looks like he about to put some chicks on the table on the blade. Sophisticated jerk. Appreciate you, sir. What else we got? All right, that's it for right now. Just want to say thank you if you have supported the channel. If you haven't super chat, it's okay, because guess what? You can also like and subscribe. That is also a way that you can show support. If you want to donate, we'll take those as well. But just hit the like button right now, and that'll be just fine. We'll move on to our next topic of this early afternoon, because it's about to transition to afternoon. I do have a clip for this one. Do women prefer men with money over looks? Do women prefer men with money over looks? Just around the panel real quick. Just give me a yes or no. What do you guys think? Do they prefer? Shanta?
Yes.
Yes.
I like them both.
You like them both? Okay.
You
That's
gotta
what I
have
was gonna
both.
say.
You gotta have both.
You gotta have
I
both.
mean, it
They'll
says
have
you
both.
prefer men with money over looks. So you have to choose one or the other. But I think women would prefer men with money over looks. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a lot of people with rich, ugly men. Okay. Rich, ugly men. But some people said, but well, you can't have both.
What is it, JR? The medium
I don't
ugly
know if I
man?
can do ugly. You know, I can do decent. Like if he's a decent, like he may not be so like ooh, but he's you know.
So I want to ask you guys this: when you say ugly,
like that's an extreme.
when you say when you say ugly, is it the face? Is it the way he dressed? I mean, does
Right.
some people
Look
look at
ugly
ugly as
can
being
be.
just
It's the whole package.
I think that ugly can mean a lot of things. Like I'm getting to the point where, okay, if he needs his teeth fixed, you know what I mean? That's fixable. So like, you know what I'm saying? I might, if he's a nice gentleman, you know, he needs some veneers or some, you know, like some like Invisalign or, you know, that was black fillings, he need white ones. I can help him with that, you know? If his hair, you know, is messed up, I can help him. Like, but if he's like, it depends on ugly. Like if you like overweight and I'm super petite, then it just won't match. You know, that's not ugly, you know, but this ain't my type. I don't call people ugly.
You can't be out here with money. You can't be out here with money and not have your teeth fixed. You got a Benz outside and your teeth look like a lawnmower. You know,
well, there are people, there are men that just don't care.
Yeah, that's the true
They just
testament
don't
of
like
a
the
Negro.
dentist, though.
They don't want to check the prostate, the dentist.
They don't like the dentist.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and play this clip, and then it's kind of interesting. You guys take on it, man. So y'all talking about y'all want both, but let's go ahead and play this clip.
And has money, and his looks is, let's say, a 7 to a 10, he's going to have a better chance with that good looking woman. If a woman is beautiful and she has a body, the reality is that man is going to probably give her a better chance, even if she don't have substance. If she just looks good, that man is going to be like, hey, but you know, the reality of what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the truth, man. Let's keep it about, man. I got into debt because of the reality of what it is. I had to have the money and the looks. So what did I do? I went towards the reality of what it is. Go get the money, go get the looks, and you'll get the ladies. And here's the truth. It worked.
All right, I played a little clip to give a little bit of context. There was some additional things he said in there. But let's talk about it right now. I'm gonna start with the women on this because, I mean, this is geared towards you guys. Men, feel free to chime in if you know somebody, maybe you've experienced something like that. You know, maybe you got to the bag and you might be ugly on the panel. I don't know. That's to the ladies' decision. But I'm gonna go to you, Curves. What are your thoughts?
I would have to say I agree with what he was saying. I mean, it's true. Like, you could literally be, I mean, shit, you can even be a 5. You got money, you can bag a beautiful chick with a nice body. Because women don't really look for looks. Like, we want you to be decent. Like, shit, like you could be decent. You don't got to be fine as hell. Some people want both. Like, I think one of the ladies was saying, but you don't got to be the finest man in the world. You can just be decent. If you have your shit together and a woman's like, okay, he's going to take care of me, he's going to do this, she's with it. And that's just most women. But, yeah, I can't disagree with what he was saying.
Yeah, because most men, when they're younger, will complain that they can't get chicks. The ugly guys will complain that they can't get chicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the advice given to these men is just go get your bag up, go get your money up,
and they're gonna start chasing you.
Right. And so in society, the reality is, if you are financially secure, that's going to be attractive to a woman. It's not necessarily how you physically look. Of course, she would like you to physically look good too. If in a perfect world, you could have both. But in the imperfect world, you know, if a woman is attracted to a man, there's a few reasons why she's attracted to him. And security is one of them.
Right. Yeah. And just like, I mean, and men value different things. Men value looks more. They don't care if a woman might make 6 figures. Like, do you look good? Am I attracted to you? That's what matters to them. So what we care about is just different. what we value is different.
Yeah, and you know, JR, with these questions is like prefer men with money over looks. I think it's a combination of things. It can't just be like money or looks. Like you gotta have a combination of things, because if you just have money, that's not enough for me. And if you just have looks, that's not enough for me. Like I need some character. I need you to have your lust under control. I need you to know how to raise kids. I need you to have a whole lot of things. So this either or
Balance,
balance. I need some balance. Exactly. So this is going to be a little strange for me, but for the majority of women, I think the baseline should be you could take care of a family. That is the baseline. You know, everything else we could add on to that, but if you can't provide, it's like, what are we doing? So that's just my opinion.
All right, go ahead, Ali. What's your thoughts?
I think that I prefer the bag over looks, because I know that if you got a bag, we can go get your teeth fixed. If you're overweight, we can hire a trainer. Like whatever the case may be, you could get it fixed. I could care about personality in the bag over. You ain't gotta be I can't. You gotta be over. Like you gotta be tall though. You gotta be over 5'11". I'm sorry. It's very rare. That's my personal preference. Wait, y'all don't come for me.
But wait, Ali, how tall are you?
Wait, that's I'm a complex because I'm little and I want to feel protected. I'm 5'1", so you know.
What if you got a strap that can protect you? You good?
She's 5'1".
But I feel like I can push him around because I got I'm like 150. I mean, little men is just so yeah. I do think that it's important for a man to be a provider, because like she said, what are we doing? Balance put it right on the head. Like if you gonna come to me, like I'm an older age, I can't be your girlfriend, so you want to wife me up, but you got to be able to provide. You got to have a good plan. You got to be a good leader. All these are good leadership skills, because we're at an age where if you don't got it together by now, I don't know if you're going to get it together. So
facts. I dated a man. He had money, but he had like halitosis. So it was like, it's just the money's not enough.
I don't think that's curable though. I think that's a stomach issue.
Right.
I don't think you could cure that.
Can't what could you do with that? It's like, you got the money,
I'm
but
sure
I can't
there's
even
something
be in
that could be
close
done.
proximity.
Oh, look,
you got a floss.
What the
You got
heck?
floss and brush your tongue.
And then you have to ask the question of, why are most people getting divorced? The majority of people are getting divorces because of finances. So some people can act like love is enough and it can sustain a relationship, but ultimately, like, most people are getting divorced because of financials. So if you don't got that shit together, that's one more thing we're gonna be arguing and fighting about. Let's eliminate that, because we're gonna have enough obstacles within the relationship anyway.
As long as you got ambition too, like, if I see that you out here a law student, you're in school, okay, we can make it, we can date a little bit. You can't get too serious now because you're still building. And how can you go to the next level if you're not? See, you got to be the king on a chessboard. So I'm willing, I could.
Hey, why you thinking in your head? What you thinking right now, man?
I think y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, so go ahead. Let's hear it.
I think people just want different things.
Hank, you hostile today. You
right.
Where your woman at? She's going on, Hank.
You need to get up under that table. And
Hank, did your woman give you a kiss this morning? What's going on?
Go ahead, man. Why don't we know what we want? I would like to.
I'm gonna let you ladies finish. I want to let you finish. But you asked me a question.
Right, I want to hear him talk.
I understand, Curtis, but you asked me a question, so I told you what I'm thinking. But I'm respect the panel and let the rest of these ladies finish.
We want to hear from you. All the women, we want to hear from you.
I know you do, and I don't blame you.
We want to hear from
you cocky. You better have $1 million in the bank the way you talk, baby. Because you a boss. You talking like a boss. You better be one. Go ahead, let us hear it. Let us hear it.
Let me take this one too, Hank. I hope that a lot of men who are working securing the bag are not waiting to find women so they could fix and upgrade whatever cosmetic deficiency that they have, right? Like, you should have a skin a facial skin routine. You should have your beard, taken care of. You should go to the barbershop at least twice a month. You know what I'm saying? The gym, invest in yourself physically, mentally, in every other capacity. I hope that dudes is not waiting and like, okay, I got the bag and I'm just gonna find this chick and she's gonna, fix all these things. Like, you should know how to dress. And then also too, I'm curious about these men in their circle of friends, because in my circle of friends, like, if something's off, we're gonna tell you, hey man, you're gaining a little bit of weight, man. What's going on? Like, you hitting the gym? Like, hey man, like, you look like you haven't had a haircut in a couple of weeks. What's going on, man? You all right? Like, what kind of conversations are you having with your circle of men that are going to check you and check your temperature and be like, yo, you good? Like, you seem a little bit off these last couple of weeks or month. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of conversations that I want to understand that those particular men who are securing the bag are having, because at least them will keep them in line and have those kind of conversations. So when you go approach a woman, you would have your face, you know what I'm saying, in check, your haircut, your dress apart, you smell apart, right? You should be in a particular type of order. Like, your looks is your looks. You can't change that. There's only so much you could do. But I think in terms of your aesthetic and how you present yourself in front of women and your other peers who respect you and have admiration for you, you should be well put together. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow yourself to wait until you align yourself with a woman, for her to tell you that you should get your teeth fixed. You need glasses, or you haven't gotten a haircut in like 3 months. Like, don't wait until that happens. Oh, and one more comment I want to make to Curbs. You said something about people, couples getting divorced. When it comes to the divorce and money situation, you have to understand, financial is a component of that. But once you hit a threshold of $250,000, that divorce rate goes down to about less than 18%. The reason why that is that people with more money have more reasons to stay together. Everybody under that threshold are in that higher divorce bracket.
So you're agreeing with what I'm saying? Like, if you have a certain amount of money, that eliminates certain issues. But you're saying the broker people, they're the ones getting divorced. So we're saying the same thing. You're just, saying it in a different way.
Well,
you're on mute.
Yeah, you're muted.
I say, yeah, more or less.
I will say there are men who have money who don't flaunt it. You'll never know that they have money. So the men who need to fix their teeth or upgrade their wardrobe, they usually don't do that until they have the woman. And so, like Louise saying, it's like, don't wait till you have that woman. But a lot of men prioritize their money in a very different way than society would have them prioritize their money. But they're focused on that rather than their looks. So it's not saying that this man, is not attractive, but he could just be okay walking outside with a pair of jeans on, some sneakers and a hoodie, and he could be richer than a man driving, the rented Rolls Royce or whatever. Some men carry themselves very differently when they have money and they're okay with the Joe Schmo look. And then when they get that beautiful woman, he allows her to nurture that look or nurture what's going on with him.
I agree.
Because he's not going to do it. He's going to be okay with wearing whatever, because his money is being allocated in different areas that looks is not necessarily at the top of his brain.
And I prefer those men, because then you could have men that have money, but then they have poor money management. So they just spend it. I know men that had money that they just lost it all because they don't know how to manage money, and they waste money, and their output is way more than their input. So you have to have a man. He can have money, but can he manage what he's bringing in? That's important too.
And also, there's a man that, like, on the brink of getting some money, like maybe hitting 6 figures, just touching it, and they want to rent downtown. They want to lease a car, just so they can have an influx of women or an influx of popularity, and it's not really building any type of, I hate to say it, generational wealth, which is, everybody's saying it, but that's really what it is. What type of legacy are you leaving behind if you rent and you lease, but you're a baller? Like, come on, let's think smart. So I love men who don't flaunt it, who save their money, who wait till I come around. I'm like, okay, babe, I know you've been saving, you up to $1 million. We can go to the Gucci store. We can go shopping a little bit, just a little. And then, we can upgrade together. I don't like a flashy guy because usually they don't have all of that. That's why they flashing.
Another lie being told by these ladies. Please go ahead.
We really want to know what the lie. I mean,
you gotta give context. If you're gonna insult us, give us some context.
I'm talking to you, Shantae. I'm not worried about what these chicks are talking about.
Hank, you don't date men though. These are our real life experiences.
I know they are. I know what type of dudes
our friends and family experiences.
I've seen those type of dudes. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Hank, why you gotta be so aggressive?
Shantae, go ahead. I'm sorry, baby.
You're so silly. I think I've seen guys. I have a network of guys who I feel are very successful men, and I would even say that some of them, I think it has to be a balance. I don't think, unless you're talking about a gold digger who just doesn't care, you're talking about a woman who you have a connection with. I think that they are both kind of important. I mean, amongst other things, obviously, but because I know some great guys who have money and they just cannot get a woman. And I'm talking about these are good guys, and they are, when I say good, meaning they're nice guys, but they're not getting women. They have great jobs, like great jobs. So it's just like, I think it just depends on the woman. You have women who they see money first and it's like, oh, it's all about the money. And I don't care about anything else is the money. And then you have people who are like, you know what? Like, I think it was, what's your name? Balancing. I don't have my glasses on. Probably would never wear them. But anyway, Balancing was kind of saying how, it's more things, more compartments. Obviously money is important. And I feel like the more money you have, maybe the less attractive as far as physical you can be. Doesn't mean you can be ugly. Just means you can be a little less attractive. Okay. Because you have to have a sexual connection with the guy, right? So, I think that that's the case, but does it mean you have to be this rich guy? Most men are not rich. Most married men are not rich guys, and they have successful marriages. So I just think it depends on, I think that it sounds so crazy because it just depends on the woman. Some women care, some women don't care. Some women are, it's just per woman.
I think that's like the starting point. Like, when y'all say she got to look nice, or just a starting point. You got to be a little attractive, and you got to be able to afford a date. You can't be offering a woman a coffee date or a meet up at your crib.
You gotta be able.
I take coffee dates.
Nothing wrong with a coffee date now.
I take coffee dates.
Well, I personally, I like a little more intention and effort from a man.
Well, I
agree. Let me finish. Hold up. Let me finish, y'all, because I know y'all gonna get on me. And I like it when you get on me because listen.
I bet you do.
You know what, Hank? We're gonna fight after this.
Where's that soundboard when you need it?
Let me tell you something. Okay, when you're attractive, you attract everything. And the way that I weed out people is I don't do coffee dates, because that tells me that you probably are dating multiple women and you have a dating budget. Bingo. And you're trying to fit me in that. And you don't feel like I'm good enough for an hour or two of conversation over a meal and drinks, because you haven't taken the time to vet my mind and my heart. You talked to me 2 times. You text me 2 times. You haven't even called me. This is how I vet men, because if you can't sit with me for 2 hours, that means you haven't vetted me properly enough to know that I'm deserving of so much more. And even so, I don't take myself on coffee dates. So why the hell would I allow a man to take me somewhere that
you like?
No. Hold up. Let me finish. Let me finish because I'm only drinking coffee so I can stay awake, because I've probably been, doing things all night, like taking care of a household. So when I'm going to work, I'm getting a cup of coffee. It's jittery. It's giving me work vibes. It's giving me an interview. And I need intimacy. I need to get to know you in an intimate way where you're being vulnerable. And can you really be?
Run into him during lunch period?
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Y'all let him finish.
I'm not
let her get it off.
Yes, let her finish.
Yeah, I'm not allowing a man to fit me in his schedule very quickly because I am something to attain, and I'm something that you really want to get to know and see if I'm on your team or not. And you can't really do that over a jittery coffee and a coffee date where someone's studying next to me, someone's in a business meeting. It's not my cup of tea. I don't knock women who do it, because y'all want to just get through it real quick. Y'all want to give them 30 minutes. And I'm not going to get in my designer car, my luxury vehicle, put on my designer clothes, even though that's nothing to me. Hold up. That's nothing to me because I'll give it all away in a minute for the right. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing to me. But I'm just saying I'm not doing that to go and meet you for at Starbucks or some little quaint coffee place that you done looked up on Google. If you can't take me to a 5-star Michelin restaurant or someplace nice, at least you could research, even if you want to do free. If you're on a budget, you could do a free museum. I might meet you there. But you ain't going to take me for no coffee and a Danish. But go ahead.
Now let me say something. Y'all ladies talk enough, man.
Go ahead.
God damn.
Go ahead.
So, men, I'm talking to you guys, because these type of chicks, that's what I be talking about.
That's why I wanted to balance.
They don't give a goddamn about you. They don't give a shit about your black ass. Example one, Ali. Don't want to go on a coffee date because I feel like I'm better than that. I'm too good for that. I'm not going to jump in my luxury.
Why would I go someplace I won't go by myself because you invited me?
I didn't interrupt you, ma'am.
Don't attack me. Don't attack me.
Please allow me to speak.
Let him finish.
So, okay, I'm not going to attack you personally, but women like this.
Because you sound like a misogynistic man.
Okay, thank you. Women like this is an example of what I'm talking about on a regular basis, but she's not the only one. Because she's dealing with Instagram dudes. That's the type of dude she's talking about. She want the money and the looks. Yeah, he gonna show you all that, but he owns nothing. Matter of fact, he don't own the shirt on his back. But you'll get him because you think he's got the bag and he's got the nice looks and he's 5'11". Yeah, that's what the type of dudes you want, and that's cool.
It sounds like you've been hurt by a beautiful woman. It sounds like you've been hurt by a beautiful woman. And just because I'm beautiful doesn't mean that you can categorize me in the same category as that woman. I have substance. Hold up. I'm beautiful to you too because that's why you targeting me. I have to be beautiful because you're targeting me. You're targeting me. And I have the right to think and feel how I want. You can't censor me. Because you don't own nothing. What do you own?
Can I finish?
What do you own?
Can I finish, ma'am?
As a whole.
Can I finish, ma'am?
Because I want to know why you seem to put me in a category as some ratchet women who use men.
Ma'am,
I'm letting you. I'm having a dialect with you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't say nothing about you using men.
I'm not going to allow you to sit and degrade me. That's some dumbass shit. That's what black men love. A lot of black men love to do. And you're not going to do it today, but you can go ahead and talk about another woman. But I want to allow you to do it while I'm sitting here.
Again,
go ahead.
These are the type of woman we're talking about. So we talk about the mental part. She doesn't bring peace. And like, she just gave you an example right there. Talk about the sign language. Yeah, it's all right in her. It's all right there. So you're an example type of woman I teach my son. So you're good for the network. You're good for the program. You're good for the world because you're the example I use. You're the type of woman who's fake as hell, who walks in a lie, who lives a lie.
Fake. You don't know me from a can of paint.
No, let's not throw shots.
Listen, let me tell you something, mister. You sound like a bitter Kevin Samuels. You must be a Kevin. You Kevin Samuel Jr., huh? You want to degrade black women because I am a black woman, and you don't know me from a can of paint. You don't know me from a can of paint, but you want to sit and categorize me as some gold digger.
You guys.
No man want to know that.
Boy, you should go to hell.
No. How about y'all let me finish? I had the floor.
How about you go to hell?
Go ahead, Ink. Just go ahead and speak.
Before she started interrupting, I had the floor.
I'm going to interrupt this ignorant shit because you're not about to sit and degrade me.
When you were spewing your mess, I didn't interrupt.
I didn't spew shit against you. Boy, I don't even know you. You are not on my radar. You acting like a boy because let me tell you why. A grown man would never sit and degrade a black woman and knowing that she's double marginalized more than you. A black man would never. I didn't talk about nobody. I said a man that's approaching me. That's not you. See, you didn't like me and find me beautiful. You wouldn't care. You would not give a fuck on what I say about another man who's approaching me. Because you know why you care? Because you know I'm beautiful, and you know you like, oh, I can't have a woman like that because I don't have the money to afford her. That's okay. If you can't provide, that's okay. That's okay. I get it.
First of all, you're not my type.
You can't provide. That's why I'm not
your
your type.
Okay.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Ali,
I don't provide for trash.
Let's just let him finish.
I don't provide for trash.
Yeah, it seems like you're trash. You're the one who's insulting black women. You're insulting black women. So you're the trash. Okay.
So I don't need you.
You gotta mute somebody.
But that's why you're by yourself.
Well, how about you
that's why you're by yourself.
Hey,
that's why you're alone. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're not married. You can't be a married man talking like that. You're a single.
All right, guys, come on. We gotta get back.
Okay, you guys are
what I need to say
right now.
I'm gonna
no, you're not saying that ignorant shit.
Hold on.
Fuck you.
Chill, y'all. Pink. I'm gonna let you finish, but try to do it without directly
trying to insult another black woman.
Just
that ain't what you ain't gonna do.
On what you didn't like about what you
did you hear what her stipulations without insulting another black? But y'all was free
I
to
didn't
insult
say that.
First of all, you don't know if a black man approaching me or not. So why are you trying to internalize what I said? You said you don't find me attractive. So why are you internalizing the man who approached me? So you shouldn't care about what I want from a man.
I don't care about you, man.
So why are you talking about it?
Ali, just let him finish his,
you guys. I don't care about, ma'am. I care nothing about you.
She's not talking.
Then don't mention me again. Then.
Go ahead, Hank, finish what you were saying without talking about her specifically, because
and I wouldn't talk about it. I'm just an example. These are the type of women that that men have to deal with. They have to choose from. And guys, please take notes. Don't deal with this type of woman.
They don't want your broke ass taking them to Starbucks because you don't know how to mentally vet a woman. Get your ass out of here.
Oh, y'all.
Again, I did not direct it towards her, but yet she feels offended.
You did say, oh, these are the type, this is the type of woman, as if I'm the poster child. You just said me. If you didn't mention me, sweetie, this is an ignorant panel. If you're going to sit and try to degrade me from what my opinion is, sweetie, you just sound like a Kevin Samuels Jr. You sound like a Kevin Samuels Jr. who died with a prostitute on top of him because he was taking too much Viagra and Red Bulls, which will be you. Because you're getting a little older, baby. You're getting a little older, baby. You better watch it.
These are the type of women you need to stay away from.
These are the type of men you should stay away from that want to take you on coffee dates, that call you, and call you names and don't know you from a can of paint because they think you only deserve coffee.
If these women are willing to act like it's on a live stream for millions of people to watch, imagine what she's willing to do.
Imagine what you're willing to do, and you're doing. Look at what you're doing. You need to focus on you and your ignorance. You need to focus on you and your ignorance on what you're doing. You need to focus on you.
Have no respect for them.
Men like this, and men like you deserve to stay in the basement with your mama. You're probably in the basement with your mama.
You don't let him get under your skin like that. This is not a.
It's too late. I got it.
You got to stop this.
Listen,
it's too late. I got it, girl.
You don't get me nothing. I'm used to misogynistic Kevin Samuels Jr.
She will call my name tonight, girl. I promise you.
You want me to call your name, but you're not attracted to me. You're not attracted to me. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this, baby. You're not attracted. You're not attracted to this. Don't worry about this.
Hey, you guys.
Just let it go.
Yeah, you gotta mute somebody. You gotta mute somebody.
I'm about to. I'm trying to be rude. Listen, I think that can I just have it for 2 seconds?
Just chill.
Listen, y'all, we got to be able to talk without the argument. It's like giving headache. Okay, so I understand what you guys are saying. I think that when you say that a man, because he takes you on a coffee date, that automatically equates to him being broke. I know many of men.
I've never said that, Miss Shan.
I said it.
I never said that. I called that man broke. Okay. I called that man broke.
Hold on.
I said he's broke in the basement.
Listen,
I never. Don't put words in my mouth.
She didn't. I didn't say men are broke.
You did.
Pretty much. She never said men
Yes,
were broke.
she did.
No, I didn't.
No, she didn't. Hold on. Can
I said equate. It kind of equates.
Let Curse talk.
Can I just finish? She said she wasn't
As
saying
long as she agreed with you, you want to hear that.
What she was saying was she feels like she's more valuable than just a coffee date. She would like for you to take more time with her, show her like I don't mind spending 2, 3, 4 hours with you. I'll take you out on a date. She feels like she's worth more than that. She said y'all, she literally said y'all can do what y'all want to do. If y'all women like that, if y'all are okay with coffee dates, cool. But for me, I want more than that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You guys act as if people are not allowed to have their own preferences or what they want. That's fine. If she's not okay with that, cool. Balance says she was cool with that. I think Shanti said she was cool with that. So some women are cool with that, but that doesn't mean you're less or more than. She just feels like that's not what she wants. That doesn't mean that men who take women out on coffee dates ain't shit. She just feels like that ain't for me.
That's exactly what she said.
Okay.
Well, listen. Hold up. I don't want nobody else speaking for me. Hold up, Shan. I don't want nobody else. Hold up. I don't want nobody else speaking for me. I'm gonna speak for myself. Hold up. No, Curves, you hit it right on the head, and I appreciate you for even doing that. You didn't have to do that.
Nobody else speaking for you.
Hank, Mr. Hank, listen, Mr. Hank. Because she said exactly how I feel. I don't want nobody Hold up, Hank. I'm gonna let you speak because we're gonna get on the good. Okay, let me finish. Let me finish.
Everybody,
let me finish.
And I was
because you were insulting me.
I was the one who was originally supposed to be talking.
Because you were insulting me, and I'm going to clarify what I said.
I was insulting the statements that you was making, not you.
Okay. Yes, you did. Hank, you did. I feel offended because you did, and I feel like.
So let me
you did. Wait, let me talk to him real quick because I want
you want to get each other's number and just talk one-on-one.
Okay, but you put words in my mouth, so I want to clarify what I said.
What I'm saying to you is, I heard what Kerr said, and let me apologize. Okay, I apologize if I got what you were trying to say wrong. I apologize, but no,
Hey, what's going on?
It's getting turned up over here, LAPEEF.
Okay,
you missed a whole lot.
I was listening. Listen up, y'all. We have to be respectful on this panel. The Sunday show is a different vibe. We got to make sure that we're not going back and forth. So I don't want you guys to be sitting there arguing over that. We shouldn't be doing none of that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just felt really offended and disrespected because of my opinion. I never ever said that Hank was anything. I started calling him broke after he said that I'm unattractive and I'm somebody he would, and every man needs to look at a woman like me and stay away from women like me. And I felt really offended because as a Black woman, we get enough heat. When I go into an interview with a white boss, I get enough heat. When I go into my white job, I get enough heat. I don't want to get heat from my brothers, the men that's supposed to protect me, because of my opinion. That's number one. Number two, I never said a man is broke because he wants to take me for coffee. I said that it's informal. I said that it gives me interview vibes. It gives me that has a dating budget. It gives me, and that's not being broke because you have a dating budget. That gives me that you're dating multiple women and they get $20 each. And you need to space out your time. You only got an hour per person. And I want something more individualized that's specific to me. I don't like coffee that well like that. I told you I drink it for work. So why would I allow a man who's approaching me to take me to a place I don't want to go? And I don't frequent. Now I've been called a gold digger. I've been called stay away from these type of ratchet women. Like, I don't know where you came from with that, Mr. Hank, but it was very offensive.
So this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get back on track. We got one more topic.
Can we not answer it? Can I not bring him? Because I was trying to get an opinion in there. It was just
all right. Go ahead, Shan.
I just wanted to say, and I get what she's saying. I absolutely, now I get it. I completely understand. But I don't think that any woman should should knock a coffee day. I think that that's a great opportunity to get a person to know a person in an informal way. You're not dressed up. You see what they're going to look like every single day that you're with them, because everybody doesn't have to dress up. And also, it's a great time to have conversation. You can always know what a man makes by just his profession. I mean, I know a lot of physicians who do coffee because they work at night. You know, some people, that's all they can do is do a coffee day. And for me, I don't give everybody my nights. So I gotta like you to even take time out of my nights to give to you, because to me, that turns into something else. I like to keep it, look, we're just getting to know each other. Boom, boom, boom. That's just me. Not to knock what you're doing. I apologize for saying that, but that's just how I do. And I don't think people should just go in thinking a coffee day is a bad thing, you know? So it's not like going to Starbucks. They're nice coffee shops.
So am I allowed to talk
Anton
about
out.
Am I allowed to finish? Am I allowed to address what I was starting to speak on?
Address it, but don't point it.
No, stop. Don't stop telling me what to do, Kurt.
I'm saying no. I'm saying that's
no.
That's
Stop
all
telling
I'm
me
saying.
what to do. You don't do that, ma'am.
I'm not
I don't tell you what to say.
She's asking you. She's asking
Hey,
you.
question.
Hold on. We're gonna give Hank the floor. We're not gonna let not one woman interrupt him while he's talking. And then when he gets done talking, then y'all can respond. And when y'all respond, I'm gonna need y'all to not insulting, because it's disrespectful.
Anton, he was disrespecting me and insulting me. He said that I'm a gold digger, I'm this, and I men need to stay away from me.
Hold on, Hank. Go ahead.
See, I said he's insulted me this whole entire life, and he's been targeting me. I haven't said nothing about this man, so you need to direct that towards him. Curves is taking up for me because she feel like he's attacking me.
Wait. Here's the thing. If he's attacking you, how do you handle it, right? Because you a grown woman.
And he a grown man.
But hear me out, right?
This is a patriarch where men run things, right?
So you gonna overtalk me and I ain't show you nothing but respect.
Now you see what I had to deal with.
Hold on, Hank. So you gonna overtalk me and I'm just having a conversation?
No, I'm not trying to overtalk you. I'm interjecting because you're saying that I'm a woman. I need to have more grace when he's sitting here verbally attacking me, and I feel like you're not addressing that. Where is his?
So at what point in history, from any woman specifically, right? Because if you understand him as a man, then you also understand how to handle him. At what point in any point in history has a woman been able to be successful when it comes to conversation, when it comes to in-person interactions, without handling it with grace? Like if you with your man right now, right, and your man starts spazzing out or whatever, you gonna go back off on him?
This ain't my man.
Wait.
Anton, you asked me a question, so let me answer it. You asked me a question.
Follow me. I don't want you to, don't direct it towards him. Just follow me, right? Just roll with me on this one. If you with your man, even if it's not your man, if you're in the presence of men in real life, right? How do you handle it if you see some confrontation going off or if somebody says something to you?
The way I would have handled it, I tried that. The man has continuously...
Just follow me.
Continue. Wait.
Anton,
I'm answering it and you interrupted me and you don't like my answer. So
okay, I'm gonna let you answer. Go ahead.
Evidently,
baby.
You want me to humble myself.
Go ahead and answer.
Wait. I'm answering it. Let me answer. You want me to humble myself for a man to allow him to continuously on a live try to degrade me as a human being, and you want me to humble myself. Black women have laid down on the front line for Black men and the rest of the world for many centuries. I don't owe him nothing. I don't have to have some type of be so gracious when a Black man is verbally attacking me. As a grown man, I felt like y'all should have came and said, hey, if you got something to say that you don't like about her opinion, don't direct it towards her.
You're not even talking to me. You still talking towards Hank. That's how I know you emotional. And that's how I know you caught up.
I told you I feel disrespected.
But
so that brings emotion.
But did I disrespect you?
I'm not talking about
you. But you're not talking to Hank right now. You're talking to me.
I understand that, but this is fresh. It just happened.
I asked you to follow me and roll with me on the conversation, and then experience what it is that I'm taking you down, because I'm trying to convince you of something. I'm trying to sell you on something, right? I'm not disrespecting you. I didn't call you out your name. I didn't overtalk you. None of that, right?
All right, I appreciate the time today.
If you in the
I don't have to be on y'all panel. I feel like I really appreciate y'all letting me have my opinion.
So you can't have a conversation with me?
If you're not going to address this man, I just told you I felt disrespected.
How do you know what I'm going to do? And you already trying to tell me what to do instead of having.
You're addressing me. You're addressing me.
I'm having a conversation with you. I'm not addressing anybody.
But you should be having a conversation with Mr. Hank. I am done
how
with
do
this
you
conversation.
know what I'm going to do? And you so combative. And
I don't have to be on this panel. I appreciate it. LAPEEF was great.
Well, we're not gonna let you give your speech. Like, if you don't want to be here, then get the fuck out of here. Then.
So, Anton.
You know, no. Hold on, man. Let me just say this. Let me say this. The only reason I started having a conversation in the first place, and I don't even know why she's still in the back. Get the fuck out of here. The only reason that I was having a conversation with her in the first place is because I wanted to display something. I wanted to display exactly what it is that you said, Hank. Women, your superpower is in your femininity. You're never going to win with the guy, whether it's in real life or online, by presenting yourself as a combative person. Your superpower is in your femininity. What's the point of going back and forth and shouting or whatever like that, right? If we're supposed to be a reflection of what it is that we want our kids to be, because we all grown, right? Why would you sit here and attack a guy? Why would you call a man out of his name? You wouldn't do it in real life. You're not even prepared to even be able to do it in real life. So why would you do it online? That shit is corny. And the reason why it's corny is not necessarily have to do with that conversation. The conversation don't even matter. Life is 10% of how you react, of what happens to you, and 90% of how you react to it. If women can't control themselves in the presence of men, you're going to look like the fool, because all you are is a reflection of the thing that men don't want to be around. You then become the stereotype of the angry black woman. And then she gonna sit here and tell me what I'm supposed to do, and she don't even know what I'm gonna do. She has no clue how it is that I'm gonna kick it with him whatsoever. But she want me to validate her, and that's not what men do. Men don't validate bad behavior. We don't sit here and acquiesce over to bad behavior. I don't do it with my wife, I don't do it with my daughter, and I don't fucking do it with my mother, and I'm damn sure ain't gonna do it with a chick online. And even in this conversation, I still have not called her out of her name. I still have not said anything negative about her personally, and none of that. She didn't attack the argument. She attacked the person. And so all I'm saying, ladies, is that when you are dealing with anybody, another woman, another man, or whatever, you can control the conversation. Y'all have more power than any man ever could by leaning into your femininity. Is no guy that's ever gonna go off on you and deal with you in a negative way. When you soft spoken, when you cold, when you cool, when you cute, when you trying to kick it with him. She could have had that conversation a completely different way, but she decided that she wanted to turn up. She wanted to bring up a dead man. You know what I'm saying? Which was hella disrespectful. That was probably, how you gonna bring up a dude that can't even come on here and defend himself? She's so angry and bitter that she's still mad at Kevin Samuels. How you mad at a man that ain't even here? That's fucking disrespectful. We will tolerate no disrespect on any platform that I'm available on. The Godfather. It is what it is. He's done great work. He's done some phenomenal things. And so for me, every man has to have a cutoff point. For me, that's mine. Hank, I feel you. I rock with you. I think that you composed yourself and you stood on your square, and I don't have nothing negative to say about you whatsoever. That's my perspective. So,
thank you, sir.
And then we gonna corral this shit. And this is Sunday. This ain't even Thursday. What the hell is going on? Shan, this is your fault. I'm blaming you.
We both that third energy over Anton.
I'm blaming you, Shan.
It is definitely my fault. I wasn't ready for it.
I'm blaming you, Shan. You're gonna have to get control.
My heart started beating fast. I'm like, y'all know.
You gotta get control of these hyenas, Shan. You gotta get control.
Came back balance.
Can I give my honest opinion though? Can I give my honest opinion?
Yeah, do your thing.
I'm not gonna lie, you did throw up some shots right there, but.
Who, I threw some shots?
No, not you.
Yeah, please
you
explain.
out of this. I think you handled yourself quite well. But what
Please
I'm
explain, though, Shanta.
Hank, let me talk. You know,
I just want you to explain. I want to.
I think that when she said women like this, or I think that she took it personally. But what I'm saying, and I get what you're trying to say, but I think that was she took it to heart. But my point in saying this is, even when people say something that we find to be offensive, we can't jump off the deep. You have to always carry yourself in a certain manner, approach it in a certain manner, because it does give off angry Black woman. And we're not saying this, you don't have a right to feel what you're feeling, but you should be able to express those feelings like an adult. Like, I'm coming to you like, look, this hurt my feelings. That's not how I meant to say it. That's not the way I'm trying to say it, and having an intellectual conversation. And as soon as we can do that, it's so much that we can learn from each other. And I think that's the point of these podcasts. That's
the interesting thing about it is I just literally landed off the plane probably 10 minutes before I came up on this panel. All I heard was her throwing the Godfather under the bus and going off on Hank. Then I seen her stand up and do her little Kendra Cam twirl and all of that. So all I hear is hyena. And then when I tried to kick it with her, and this was the interesting thing about it, she had no clue what I was going to say, right? And so when I tried to kick it with her, and I tried to say, all right, listen, I didn't even have the opportunity to ask her what happened. All I seen was crazy from the very beginning. I never even had the opportunity to have a conversation with her, because she wanted to tell me what to do, and I can't even get no insight into what's going on. That's how you know that a woman is combative, because I can't even talk to you. I can't calm you down. I can't kick it with you. I can't ask you no questions. And you telling me what to do, and you don't even know what's going on? Listen, every woman on this panel, Curves, you enabled it. Balancing, you dipped off. Precious, you was chilling. I got to give you a little bit of credit.
Wait.
And Shan, no. This is all y'all. I'm putting it on all four of y'all.
Curves did try to help, though. She was like,
I'm putting it on all four women on this panel, because when guys have a conversation, because see, me and Hank, we gonna talk, right? Me and Hank gonna kick it. We got a relationship. We know how to get in touch with each other. Men hold men accountable, and then men make sure that we big each other up. This is y'all fault, and the reason why it's y'all fault is because none of y'all actually held her accountable. None of y'all tried to calm her down. None of y'all. The only thing I seen was enabling. No, I didn't see nobody pull her to the side. This is an example of the sister code. And when you cannot get women together, it never even should have came to the insults, because the minute that y'all seen her out of pocket, y'all should have controlled that shit.
Anton,
when I seen Hank going back and forth with her, I said, all right. The minute that I turned on my phone, I seen Hank going back and forth with her. I said, all right, let me cam up.
Well, I'm glad.
Anton, I just want 20 seconds to speak. I was not enabling her. I was trying to simmer things down. I kept telling them, like, y'all need to chill, be respectful, listen to each other. I wasn't trying to enable anything. And then,
so why you ain't address her specifically?
No, but then I was trying to explain. I didn't know.
No, I was the one to be addressed.
She wasn't saying certain things. That's all I was doing.
Why y'all didn't address her?
But her, yeah.
I told her. I said,
no, y'all didn't. Y'all addressed me. Curse, you went to the point. Now, hold on. Let me say this real fast. Curse, you went to the point.
I wasn't finished.
Okay, go ahead, buddy.
I promise you. Give me 10 seconds, and I promise I'll let you have
wait. You see how that just happened? You see how that played out? She calmly said, you know what? I wasn't finished speaking. Can you give me 10 seconds? He just said, you know what, baby? You're right. You got it. You see how do you see how you just controlled that, Curves?
I appreciate that.
But do you? I'm not even saying it for you. I'm saying it for the audience. Right. Do y'all see how when a woman operates in her femininity, she controls the room?
Right. I just wanted 10 seconds because I wasn't trying to pick sides. I just wanted you guys to both be able to hear each other, because y'all were talking over each other. I was trying to tell her to cool out, let him finish. This is the way he talks. She didn't know you. I was I don't know, abrupted by like the way you are the first time I ever encountered you as well. So I'm just like, this is the way he is. I don't think he means any harm. Like, I was just trying to tell her to chill for a second, and I was trying to allow you to finish. But then, every time you said she thought you were saying she, pretty much, and she was taking it personal. So I was just trying to bring a balance to it
And that's it. I wasn't enabling her.
No,
You know,
that
that's
ain't
what
really.
happens
That
for
ain't.
real,
Listen,
Anton.
I'm gonna ask y'all personally.
So,
because
can I speak on it before you
this
do?
is a great opportunity. It's a great.
Let me speak on it before you do, brother. If you
Go
don't
ahead,
mind.
do your thing, Hank.
Because this is what it was. Y'all curse, and you was her biggest cheerleader, and making her thinking she was right to the point you try to tell me, well, telling me what to say and what not to say. You didn't. Not one of y'all ladies on it sit there and say, well, lady, Shantae, maybe I didn't hear you. Maybe I couldn't hear you all over the commotion.
That's why Curves corrected me when I tried to correct her statement.
Okay, again, and I just sit there and told you, maybe I didn't hear you. I apologize, okay? But from what I heard, what I was witnessing, nobody was checking her. I was being the one being checked. You shouldn't say that. You should say, no, don't tell me what to say. I don't tell you what to say. And we always use examples of each what somebody talk about something, we use that example, what you just said. That's exactly what I was doing. I said they. She told me to keep it out and keep it personal, yet she was able to ask me a personal question. How is that right? But I'm not allowed to say nothing. Y'all ladies didn't say any damn thing. And that's cool. I understand that. But Lou didn't feel like I was wrong. Lou could have very well checked me right then and there. I would have accepted his feedback, and when I would have kept it moving. If JR was still up there, he could check me. I respect his feedback, and I kept it moving. But none of y'all ladies said that. And that's normal. It's bad, but it's normal.
Hey, so respectfully, I never told you what to do. I said, I asked the question. I said,
you told me what to say and not to say.
I didn't. I said, I said this conversation is not productive. I was like, can you say what you have to say without directing it to her? It was a question. And if you would have said, no, I'm gonna say what the hell I want to say, then fine. You're a grown man. I was asking you so that y'all weren't talking over each other and it wasn't a whole lot of smoke. That's it.
So let me ask y'all a question.
She had everything
because it could be good reason. It could be good reason as to why y'all didn't address her. Did y'all not feel compelled to? Did y'all not want to get into a confrontation? Because I'm trying to understand.
That girl.
I'm trying to understand the sister code in a general sense, right?
No.
Because women are naturally not confrontational, in my opinion, right? Which means that they kind of avoid confrontation when you move in a certain type of way. And I can get that, right? Why didn't anybody really feel compelled to address her personally?
I didn't feel compelled to address her personally because when women are hurt, scorned, you could tell she wanted protection, and she wanted protection from a man. She felt like she was offended by a man, and I always say, even if someone offends me, that doesn't mean I have to be offended. Offended is a state of being, and that was the state of being she was in. There's nothing that any one of us women could have said to her to make her feel protected, because at the end of the day, when you can't handle your emotions and you're looking for protection, you don't really know who you are. And she could say she has a luxury car. She could say whatever she wants that she has. But if you cannot protect your mouth, then all your assets are really a liability to you. And so her mouth is the biggest liability to her. And I'm not going to argue with a fool who is not going to recognize that in the presence of a man is speaking. Hank was speaking. I don't care what a man is saying. You have to give that man respect, even if you do feel offended. Again, being offended is a state of being.
Do you think that she would have listened to y'all if y'all would have said,
She wouldn't listen to nothing nobody on here was saying.
No, she needed to hang herself. Some people need to hang themselves.
So then here's the question then, right? Do we throw away some women?
Oh, I've been doing away, Anton.
I don't think
define throw away.
Look, you cannot protect a woman who does not value her own.
So some women deserve to be thrown away completely then, right?
Some women need to be casted so they can figure themselves out. There's not enough work a man or a woman can do.
And well, let me tell you why I'm asking this question, right? Because we always keep talking about the Black community and bringing people together and how can we have a conversation and men don't protect women and all of that. So based off of what y'all telling me, y'all basically telling me that some women can't be saved and we need to throw some of these women away, right? I just want to make sure we clear.
I don't think that we should have to. I think that it could have been a product. Had we calmed her down, we could have had a productive conversation on what just took place. But the problem
whose responsibility was it to calm her down?
Nobody could get a word in edgewise with either. They were going at it. We were trying to stop this conversation. I even threatened to mute people, and it was just out of my. I'm not even used to people like this on a day to day. I couldn't even. It was out of my. I was out of my element. I didn't know what to do. I was about to call JR. Like, what the hell? I thought he was at church, so like I wouldn't do that to the Lord. So I was just confused.
Is it
so we say, go ahead, Curse.
Is it safe to say that some people are just not as emotionally mature as others? So when they are faced with certain things, they may react in a certain kind of way. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but some people just haven't worked on that aspect of them. But I don't think you should throw them away. I think that's like more of a emotional.
So how should we deal with them? How should we deal with them?
I think that comes on a personal base to base. Like if you decide because
have a conversation.
You as yourself, if you decide, hold on, I'm telling you, you as yourself, if you decide, you know what, I'm not dealing with certain types of people, that's fine. That's not what you want in your circle. And other people are more lenient. Like, you know what, I can help this person. I don't mind grooming them. You never met somebody that you don't mind helping out?
I'm gonna tell you why that don't work, Curves. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree.
Go ahead.
Because now is D-Day. Sorry, I'm plugging up my computer.
Is B-Day?
It's D-Day. You know what D-Day is?
I don't.
D-Day. Okay, let me break it down like this. We are in such disarray as a community that we cannot afford to any longer postpone or let the prisoners run an asylum, right? Everybody is tired. Everybody is fed up. The Black community is fed up. Women are tired of being alone. Men are tired of dealing with certain stuff. People have started to go their own way, go to passport bros. People don't want to get married anymore, so on and so forth. Everybody is tired. And the reason I know that everybody is tired is because these are the conversations that are the most popular. They're the conversations that are most pressing. It's the thing that gets people the most emotional. Listen, I used to think that it was three things that you couldn't talk about. You couldn't talk about religion. You couldn't talk about politics. And it was something else. I forgot. But it was three things. It was like mainly three things that you don't talk about inside of the workplace. You don't bring up because it's going to. Okay. And that. You don't bring it up in the workplace. You don't bring it up at Thanksgiving because it's going to cause a fight. I've never known the dynamic between Black men and Black women in the state of our community to be as emotional and as high as the tensions is as high as it is right now. There's nothing, no subject that it does not touch, span, or interact with, right? And so it's at its precipice. It's at the height of its situation. It's almost like if we don't deal with it now, we're then going to be the ones that's talked about, because I talk about the boomers and all of them. Like I talk about them. I say they failed us. I don't want to be the generation that failed people that come after us, because I would love for my daughter to exist in a space that's better than the one that we have now. And it can't just be on an individual basis, right? First, I do think it's necessary for us to be able to fix our own household so that we can then have these conversations in truth. But then at the same time, at some point, we have to start impacting the people that surround us, influencing the people that surround us, and coming to some solutions instead of just talking about the problems. I see the problems get talked about amongst the Black community, and that junk has been happening for decades, way before I was even old enough to have the conversations. We still having the conversations because nothing was solved for. And so if we don't actually start having, productive conversations on how it is that we need to either fix it, throw some people away, maybe some people need to be left behind, I'm not sure. But if something does not happen like now, to where we start to figure out how it is that we can be more productive, we will forever be at the bottom of the totem pole. And it does not matter if one person make it out or one person stays successfully married. If all of us fail, then I fail too. If I'm successful and then everybody around me is in chaos, and I'm speaking metaphorically from a relationship perspective, money perspective, whatever, I fail too. Because I wasn't put on this earth. You wasn't put on this earth. Not a woman or a man is put on this earth to operate in a silo. If that was the case, then we would have been put in pods. So my point is that at some point, y'all gonna have to join us. Y'all are our last hope. We can't do it by ourselves. Guys can't just do it by themselves. At some point, because I'm an equal accountability smoke giver. I'm gonna give it to the guys. I'm gonna give it to the women. More importantly, I hold the guys more accountable than women because I am a man, and men, I can relate to what it is that they're experiencing. So I have those conversations with guys on a regular basis. But if y'all don't gird up and then join us when the opportunity presents itself, because I know that most of y'all on this panel is phenomenal people, right? Y'all got great character. Y'all all come from different spaces and all of that. But if y'all don't join us and at some point we start to make progress, then what's the point of us having these conversations at all?
Anton,
That's all.
What does joining y'all look like? What is
holding her accountable?
Can I speak to
and
that,
then
Anton?
determining whether or not we throw her out or we keep her? Because if we keep her, then we got to get her together. If we don't get her together, and listen, I'm not saying that we can't have spirited debates. I want to see the drama. I love to see the chaos. It's incredibly entertaining. But when it gets so disrespectful that she starts to bring up a dead man, that's where at some point, you got to draw the line and say, all right, you a habitual line stepper. Because even I've stepped over the line with certain people, but then I come back and say, you know what? I apologize. I was wrong about it. I shouldn't have did it. I'm going to do it in front of everybody and apologize the same way that I said it in front of everybody. So, I mean, at some point, we got to be solutions-based because that's crazy. But that's just my opinion.
I definitely hear what you're saying, Anton, but at the end, she backed out. She's like, I don't have to be a part of this conversation anymore. I don't have to, it was nice being here. She was trying. She was trying.
She was going to give a speech and she was going. Usually,
right.
Listen, when people want to leave, they don't announce in the chat and say, you know what, I'm leaving now. No, they just leave. Like if they didn't want to be a part of it, they just leave. She was looking for a lifeline. She was looking for me to say, oh, listen, don't go. No, I said, well, get the fuck out of here. And then when I removed her, she's still sitting in the back like, no. And then I kicked her out of the back. And I don't mean that she can't come back or nothing like that, right? Because I don't believe in permanently getting rid of nobody. But at some point, we gotta hold people accountable and say, yo, you can't disrespect the dead man. You're gonna have to stand on your square. And this is how we solution for it. And if she can't be responsible for playing her part, and the only thing she doing is this, but they did it. If she can't take responsibility for herself, then she shouldn't even be. Y'all are the ones that's gonna have to get her together.
May I say something? Oh no, go ahead, Sham.
I just, I hear everything Anton is saying, and I, when I look at it, I see 4 women who were able to, control themselves. We handle ourselves a little differently, and it's so frustrating when we get punished for the loud minority. It's like all Black women, and I wish that there was something we can do to get those women on board so that we can be represented right. Because she decreases my value just because I'm Black. Everybody thinks we're all the same, So I personally think if you want to know how to fix the problem, like she said in her speech, I get guys that take me, the guys got to stop. They have to stop doing that. When she stops getting the attention and she stops getting the bag, whatever that is, or whatever have you, it's going to change it. Women like attention. And as long as there are men who are men of a certain caliber who are feeding into this attention, even if it's just to be a bust down, because sometimes they don't know the difference, it's going to keep it going. Because I can sit here and correct her behavior all day long. But if she's not getting attention from a man, that is going to pull so much weight. That's just my opinion.
What you said was the attention from the man. I think more.
This is what y'all supposed to be leaning into. When your man come in the house from working and he just took a long flight home, you supposed to come home to cards, hugs, handwritten letters.
All right.
Handwritten letters. Strawberry.
She
made these personally. This is what men should be experiencing. It's nothing I can say to this woman. What can I say to her when I walk in the door? She's literally standing by the microwaving, getting my stuff together because she already had my stuff ready. She walked in, gave me a hug, said, hey, you ready to eat? Hand me a card, give me some chocolate covered strawberries. This is the type of thing that men should be experiencing.
Anton, only thing you had to say was thank you, baby. That's it.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
Just tell her thank you.
This is why I gotta stay on the Alpha Juice Company, because I can't fucking lose weight because every time I come in the house, she cooking. This is what men want. That's what men want.
So I think a lot of Black women feel like the Black man doesn't hear her. And I think what she was looking for is for you to hear her and protect her. No, I'm just saying, Hank, stop shaking your head. I'm just saying, I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. She was looking for him. That's why she was like, he offended me, he hurt me, and she was looking for you to swoop in and be like, why'd you say that? You know, like get onto him, because she wanted to feel protected by a Black man. And because you didn't do that, she was still staying in that emotional state. But I guarantee you, and I'm not telling you how to do things, I'm just saying, but if you would have came on some, hey, why was you talking to her like that? Da, 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 she would have stayed up here and she would have been cool. But she didn't feel like you were protecting her. So she bounced because she's like, okay, he's against me. He's not defending me. Why am I here?
But Kurt, did you know how she was good with everything you said because you was caking for her and on her side and repeating? No, well, hold on, let me finish because I've been sitting back here resting in my masculinity, right? So you were sitting there repeating and saying, well, that's exactly what I was trying to say, Kurt. That's not what you said.
So I misrepresented it. I
I went back to listen to the video.
Yes, you did. You cleaned it up for her. Now look, her. I understand. You went into your publisher. You went into speaking for her and cleaning it up like somebody would what they would do for somebody who's a star and they can't really express right like they should. But Kurt, you came in there, cleaned it up. You was a press lady. So thank you for being a press lady. You did a great job. But that's not what she meant. That's not what she said. So when she was taking personal shots at me, nothing was said. When she asked why I got the voice on, she said, but she don't want me to take personal shots at her, but she could ask me personal questions. And I have no problem answering my questions about my marriage and I failed my marriage and how it was my fault. I don't have no problem with that. I'm straight up, no problem. But now if you open that door, once you open that door, I'm stepping through. So you saying to me, when you ask me those personal questions, it's nothing wrong for me to do the same. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Title IX is supposed to be in full effect for you ladies.
One of the things that I noticed, especially when she was answering the question, was that she kind of tailored her response to be very personal. She kind of interjected herself right in the middle of it. Like, well, this is how I show up and this is what I do. And I won't accept these types of things, which is fine. But I think at the same token, she kind of tried to downplay, other people's sort of response in terms of like if they want to go on a coffee date or they don't. And she kind of threw the her accolades. I make money. I have a car. It's luxury and stuff like that. I don't think that none of that was very necessary. I think it was just her trying to kind of one up, in the conversation, just because, she felt like that she was above, a coffee date. And then I try to interject what if you met the guy, during work, on just on a random day, like, how would you handle that? Right. And she still felt that, she was above reproach. And and I think when Hank started to kind of interject, he started to say, see, these type of women with this particular mindset is the problem. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't so much about her, but rather the mindset that she was kind of alluding to. Right?
It don't matter if it was about her.
Say that again, Anton?
I said it don't matter if it was about her. Like, he didn't call her out of her name.
Oh, and I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. Like, if I bring up, and it happens all the time, if I bring up my marriage, right, on the panel, and I say, well, I do this and do that, and they say, well, I don't think your marriage is that great because I wouldn't do that. That's fair game. I brought that up as a part of the conversation. It's fair. Now, if you go on and you want to personally attack my wife and all of that other type of stuff, then that's a completely different conversation because it's not within the context of the conversation. If she included what her standards is and she got all of this money and all of this other type of stuff, okay, then we gonna have that as a part of the conversation and then start to point out where the flaws are in her argument as it pertains to her because she included herself into the conversation. That is fair game. That is not a personal attack. You cannot agree with somebody. You can You can attack the argument, especially if somebody is using themselves as an example as to how awesome. And I didn't hear none of that, right? I'm just going by what y'all are communicating right now. I didn't hear none of that. People do it all the time. They hold Bruiser for leaving his chick, the first chick. They Mr. Let Go. He catch more strays than anybody. And the one thing I will say about Mr. Let Go, he don't complain. He just be like, cool, I'm taking my lumps. It's funny. Sometimes when we jump off the panel, he be cracking up and laughing at it. He don't mind being the butt of a joke or whatever, but he don't trip. You know what I'm saying? And I've never seen Mr. Let Go take a personal shot at something that wasn't a part of the conversation when people didn't include it.
I agree. I want to say something to this.
Go ahead, Balancer.
Okay. So I hold men and women equally accountable. And this is a little frustrating when if a woman jumps off the handle, they're like, oh, did all the other women hold her accountable? When you have a woman screaming, and if I don't have access to a mute button, what am I going to do? Scream over her? You're not even going to hear me. So I think, Shan, if you have access to the mute button, you have to mute people. Like, there's no reason you should have let her mic stay on that long.
I gotta do better.
I don't even know like how we let her talk that long. I was really confused. And I'm like, there's nothing I could do because I'm not going to scream over her. So I'm like, I don't even want to be a part of it. Like, it's silly.
Let me share this. Let's say Chuck Moe said Anton doesn't even know what D-Day is himself. I just seen that. D-Day is largely the attack on American soldiers that basically turned the tide in the war and when they were controlling Nazi Germany. All right. So it's largely regarded as the turning point by which we started to take over. And then it ultimately resulted, which over 9,000 people died on D-Day. But ultimately, it was the time in which they say that the tide turned to where we can actually eventually win the war and become successful. So my point is that I think today is the day. Now is the time. 2020, 21, 22, 23 is the time for us as a Black community to start turning the tide. I don't want my lifetime to go down in flames, and that we are worse off than we were before I was born. I want us to be great. I want us to be awesome. And I think that we can be incredibly successful. So that's my perspective. All right, I'm about to jump down so I can eat my food, so I ain't got to eat on camera.
I'm over here.
Right on, big brother.
All right, you guys, we got to get these super chats. Who wants to read them? Nobody? I can try. Let me zoom my camera in. It's because I can't see. All right, let me zoom. Hold on for a second. Give me a little bit of time. Okay, how do you zoom?
Shantae, where's your glasses at?
I'm not wearing them things.
This one we already saw.
Oh, we already saw this?
I believe we read that one.
Yeah, J.R.
Okay.
He's gonna pick some chicks.
This one right here? J-Rock?
You want passport, bro?
I see why the passport bros are on the rise. Since the game is money and resources, it's cheaper overseas, less attitude and superficiality. Shaking my head, only in our community. Simone, all this is what the men are talking about. On this panel, you and all the other Black women are representing all of us, and you have to calm down, sis. Hold on. Shantae, that's BS for you to hold Hink accountable and let Ali cuss Hink out up and down. Was I holding Hink accountable? Okay. Thank you, Rodney, for your opinion.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Lil Bob, was I Hink though?
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm listening. If I have two kids fighting, I'm gonna always go to the calmer one that I can talk some sense into to step away from while we get the other one under control. So that's my strategy. Lil Ba, greetings to all. Special shout out to Precious, who is intelligent, pretty, and elegant with a calm, peaceful demeanor and represent Jersey well.
Yes, she does.
Yes. Sir Chai, my best friend. Get your passport, fellas. How you gonna say that? Kev warned us about Ali. But y'all sitting here acting like Ali is the majority. You clearly have the majority here peaceful, and there was one. And
no, you could have muted all of us. I agree with that.
All right. Hold on for a second. Oh, I can't do two things at one time, y'all. Mute all.
I think he said Ali.
Is a mute all function?
Yeah, it is. It
is.
is.
It really?
StreamYard, definitely. You can
Yeah,
mute everybody.
I'm new to this, so
yeah.
Maybe you should have made somebody who knows.
If I had access to it, I would have.
Oh, y'all should have. All right, Marcus Evan. Come on now, no Thursday energy. He wasn't trying to disrespect nobody, and don't disrespect the Kevin Samuels. All right, this was a sad look, bro. Let's do better as a people.
We should do better.
All right, she actually brought up KS's name in a negative manner on LAPEEF ING Sunday. LOL, the disrespect has reached a new height, I see. Thank you, DYT. Jonathan, I have a nice tiny violin for Ali Dreams 1. What do I send it? You can send it to my house. I'll make use of it. Jason, Anton is over there living the good life. Cars, getting fed. Don't stunt on them too much. Charles Keys, Black women are always right. That's why we have passports. It's Black women everywhere. You don't protect. You don't protect bad behavior. This is one of the problems. Some women have been rescued in their wrongdoing. Thanks, you guys, for all the super chats. I hope I didn't miss one. If I did, please let us. Oh shit, y'all! I can't do two things at one time. I promise. That's why I have people read my super chats. Sorry, y'all. All right, you guys. So
we didn't even get to the last topic. Like, this was wild.
Oh, we're not gonna do it.
I mean, you can.
Last topic, you guys.
My brain. Go ahead.
That was a lot.
Come back on. Bring a balance.
All right. The next question is: should you test their loyalty in a relationship? Should you test their loyalty in a relationship? And I have a video.
But with this whole Andrew Tate thing, he did touch on a few subjects, and people don't want to admit because they're in denial. So, for example. Your partner, your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever, if you send her, he said, I dare you to send her some flowers to work with no name on it. And then when she comes home, see if she tells you about the flowers. How many men want to do that? Because imagine that. You get home. All right, babe. Yeah, you? Yeah, not bad. How was your day? Yeah, it was all right. Yours? Yeah, it was all right. What did you do today? Oh, it's normal. Anything else? No, why'd you keep asking questions?
But in your head, you're thinking, why aren't she fucking telling
Yeah.
me?
And then he said to the women, he's like, ask your husband to say, let's swap phones for 2 days. How many men are going to do that?
Yes, imagine.
And a lot of people are like, I'm turning it off, don't want to watch it. Oh, he's such an arsehole, Andrew, such like that. But with this whole Andrew...
Sorry. So should you test their loyalty in a relationship? Who wants to speak first?
I would say no, personally. Just because I feel like everything is gonna come out when it needs to come out. It's giving very much high school vibes when you test someone's loyalty. Like, if you give it enough time, everything you need to know and find out about a person is gonna come out. Because I used to do that when I was in my younger 20s. I used to if I was dating somebody, I'd be like, oh, slide in his DMs, or like, oh, walk past him and do this, and like see if you can get his attention, just because I wanted to see how he would respond. Like, are you gonna, let him know you with somebody? Are you gonna, you know what I mean? But I just, as an adult, I'm just not with that anymore. I just feel like what I need to find out about you is gonna come out when it needs to, and I'm not gonna go fishing for a situation or issue just to see how you respond. It's gonna happen when it needs to.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that statement. I mean, I think it's only so long that you can only keep the mask up until it falls off at some point. But I mean, I think in terms of how to test them, right? I think that, ask them about certain things. What is their consistency like, right? And I think the example in the video with the whole sending flowers, that could be a hit or miss. You got to understand that a lot of people do a very good job of hiding their intentions and hiding what they have going on in the background, right? There's a lot of people that are pretending. There's a lot of people who are in, endless relationships that are heading down a dead end. The pandemic was a great example that exposed that. A lot of people were breaking up. A lot of people were, getting divorces, separating, because once they got the time to sit in the same space and really understand each other, they have found out that they don't really have a lot of things in common. And more often than not, they were more upset that they couldn't leave to go spend time with their other person that they haven't told their significant other about, right? So, you know, testing them, I think the veil will fall, but I think it's just as important for men to kind of move in a particular type of way, because the thing about it is, if you're courting a woman to be your wife, or, you know, getting down that road where you want her to be your fiance, I think it's important to kind of test her, kind of try her a little bit, because you don't want to kind of invest all your time into someone who doesn't have the same intentions, who doesn't have the same sort of outlook that you do for them, right? And there's a lot of people who are moving like that type of way. The difference is that they're not really talking about it.
Yeah, when a new product is put out, it's tested. When a car is manufactured, they put test dummies in there and they crash it into a wall to see how well the protection around the car is, how well the dummies, you know, how many parts they break into. You know, most things are tested. And I don't think that, you know, Curbs, you mentioned doing that in your younger years. And I think, you know, when you're in your younger years, you will do it in those concrete ways to see if they're actually into you. But I think as you become older and you're more mature, you know, you do it in ways that are still going to help the growth of another person. You're going to test that person to see if they can, you know, protect you. And it's not necessarily you're doing or saying anything. Sometimes you're just waiting for their reaction. You're seeing how they are handling a situation, and in your mind, you're like, okay, so they handle it like that, and that's
Can
something.
you give an example of something that you would like?
Just
What
something,
does that
just
look
something
like?
real simple. Something real simple, right? You're walking. If he walks on the outside of you, closest to the street, then that's a test that he is mindful that he's protecting you, and he's going to be there in case something happened. So that's a small test that women, you know, there's some women.
Something you're just noticing while you're walking with.
Well, no, it's a test because some
I'm
people
talking about like intentionally doing things, knowing that you're trying to see his response. Like, are you intentionally doing that, or are you just walking, seeing if he's going to stand on the outside or you're going to be on the inside? Like, are you purposely doing that?
Intentional is when you purposely do something. What I'm talking about is when you just observe someone to see what they're going to do.
So that's not a test. That's just you observing.
Well, sometimes it can be a test. So if you prefer a man to open your door and he don't do that, you're testing that man to see if he has that character in him. Some women won't even be with a man who doesn't do that. And so that's her test for him. It's not something that she's actually saying, oh, I need you to open my door. No, she's going to see if he does it or not. There are teachers who give pop quizzes. You're not privy to them. You don't have time to study for them. It's just something that they do to see if you're up on your game, to see if you have been studying, to see if you are in the game.
Precious,
so I think as we get older, we're not purposely doing things to say, oh, I want to see if he's going to stay with me. Let me tell him to go into somebody's DM to see if he'll bite. No, as you get older, you're seeing that, okay, if he's always on his phone and he's not even in that realm of social media or, you know, talking to other people, that's your test to see, okay, he doesn't really want to speak with me on terms on physical terms as far as face to face. He's not that interested. He'd rather be on his phone. Certain things you just observe, and that's the test.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That's more of an observation more so than a test, because I'm not testing a man if I go on a date with him. Or are you going to pay the bill? Am I going to pay the bill? We splitting? That's just an observation. Are you going to take the check or am I taking the check? I'm not testing to see, because I got it regardless. I could pay for my own stuff, but I'm observing what kind of man you are. Are you going to do that? Are you not? Whatever. Cool. It's more of an observation when you get older. And I do that too. I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's a test, because I feel like a test is like, I'm testing to see him move. No, I'm just observing to see if that if that's what I want. Like I'm okay, is this the kind of guy I want to be with?
Just FYI, as a teacher, you can definitely test kids through observation. So just letting you know that you can also, I mean, it's just an informal form of testing. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, that's fair. I learned something new.
I understand that you wouldn't, because I'm a teacher, so I was just letting you know.
No, I'm saying that's something I did. That's the case. Precious, my bad. I get what you're saying. Cool. I just thought it was two different separate things.
Anybody else wanted to add?
Yeah, I'll answer the question because I've never courted with a man or dated a man who didn't test me. Ever. Literally ever. So I'll give you some examples of tests I've been in. One man, he had thousands of dollars of money in his kitchen drawer, and he opened it so I could see it, and then he closed it back, and then he kept walking through the house. And like, I know you intentionally opened that drawer, right?
That happened to me
too.
Yeah,
see? So I mean, they have specific tests that they do. Another one, a man took me to his friends who happened to be all celebrities to see how I would respond to being around his celebrity friends. So there are a lot of different tests that men do, consciously, subconsciously, or both. And I think they actually should, honestly. I think you should. I think you should. If this is somebody you're going to build a family with, have a life with, you should test them. That's my personal opinion, because you just don't know a person. A person can pretend. You can meet their representative. A person could be a liar, a thief, a cheater. I was just watching a TikTok where a man left his brother in his house with his wife, and they end up cheating with each other, but he caught it on video. So, I mean, men do test women, and I think rightfully so, especially in this day and age. Yeah, I think it's a smart thing to do. And sometimes women are tested and you guys don't even know, because I have yet to really meet a man that don't test, and I think he should. I'll leave it like that.
Thanks. I mean, even when guys look, I guess when Hank used to say, he look at a girl's Instagram and look at their pictures, see how she moves. That's still a test, right? Would it not? Through observation, form of testing. Yeah, I just feel like choosing a mate, that's one of the single most important decisions you're gonna make in your life. You better test them.
You better test them. Okay.
I don't think you could go into a situation like that without adversity. Like if you've only seen somebody in a good situation and you've never seen them under duress, you've never seen them stressed, you've never seen them, I'm not going to say wait for death in the family and not, but you need some form of adversity to be able to dictate how they're going to react in different circumstances, because the conditions that you meet them in is not always going to be the conditions that exist throughout that relationship. So you do want to see them in a few different circumstances that are important to you, to see how they react, because, some people, that could be the catalyst of divorce.
Was you done, Jay? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Hank.
Well, first things first, I want to apologize to JR and his network for my part that I've done in this bullshit. So that's the first thing I want to do. As far as should I test the person's loyalty in a relationship? Yeah, that's a must. And unfortunately, a lot of these young cats, they don't do that. Now, as those old heads, we got to make sure we inform them. We got to tell them. We got to teach them. We got to learn them. I learned that early in my life, as far as my uncle, my grandfather said, you definitely, certain things you got to test. They especially give the woman that financial test. Now, I know we was talking about, and I always share all the time talking about taking a woman out for coffee. And I know, how it was questioned and looked down upon. But to me, there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. Because that's the first test right then and there. How are you going to respond to me suggesting us go into a place and have coffee and sit down and have a one-on-one conversation? It's in a quiet setting. I'm able to ask the certain questions that I need to ask. I don't have to worry about all the distractions from the waiter coming back, asking us, are we ready to order? Or what we like to drink? None of that. We get our coffee, we go over in the corner, and we at peace, and we have our interaction. That's one test every man should do. Now, I'm not saying it's got to be a coffee shop. That's whatever you choose. but make sure it's a place where you can ask the appropriate questions that you need to ask. So you can't test. There's going to be constant tests for a man. Like I think Balance said, yes, I keep $1,000 worth of one in my home. Please don't come to my house thinking you're going to get something, because you're not. But I keep $1,000 worth of ones in my home. Why? Just in case. I don't carry a lot of cash on me. I don't. But if I do need it, I go and grab it. So, but I carry that for reasons. But at the same time, the lady I deal with knows it's there. She knows exactly where it is. I pull it out. I drop it on bed. I'm old fashioned. I keep it rubber band up. That's how I am. And rows of 25. That's just me. She's sitting there watching me count it over and over. She's asking me, why are you doing that? Why you put rubber band? I said, man, my grandfather taught me that. But I was doing it right in front of her on purpose, like you said. Like the bouncer was saying, the guy opened the drawer up and showed off money. Yeah, I did that same thing. And guess what? Didn't have to worry about it. She went back from summer. I counted again. It was the same amount that it should have been. That was my test for her. Because we do it all the time. I sit back and watch. Does she want me to open the door for her, or is she going to speak on it? And I get out the car and keep it moving. That was another test. I didn't open the door. I walked away like I was just about to keep on walking. Then she just stayed in the car right then and there. Okay, I know what I'm dealing with. I need to go back and open that door for her. I like that. A woman like that, to me like that, I can respect that, because she feels like she has a certain standard. I respect that. That's another test. So you have to constantly put these ladies under test, because like you said, it's an investment. If you're going to bless a woman with your last name, you better know she's able to pass a test. And if she can't, put on a failed list and treat her as such. If it means you just want to knock her down every once in a while, then do such. Treat a hoe like a hoe. I'm sorry, Shantae, I know. Treat them as such. You put them in that category, you keep it moving. But that right lady, you give her everything and all things. There's no secrets. She gonna know everything. And matter of fact, I'm gonna even tell you, I'm gonna go as far as say, yeah, when I was doing these things, these were just tests to see if you pass or not. We're gonna have that evaluation time, right? Every year after on my scholarship, I have to get evaluated. My goods, my bads, and what I need to improve on. That's what I'm gonna do for her. I'm gonna bless you with that knowledge, so you'll know what my expectation is, what I like and what I don't like, what I feel like you need to improve.
With them stripper ones in your drawer.
Ain't love the strippers.
I like the strip club.
Not a fan of the strippers. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want my lady to strip for me. So if she wants to, I'll make it rain. All 1,001s of them. And then I get to get my my natural honey and my sprinkles. And you know what we do with those.
You're hilarious. Anybody else want to add on to should you test the loyalty in a relationship? Anybody?
You said how you've been tested, Shane?
Oh, for sure. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the guy's mind, but I know I test people. Sometimes I don't even be trying to test. It be God testing them. And I just see the answer. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you, God, for showing me that. Put it in my face.
Out of curiosity, have you guys ever had conversations with your parents or your grandparents where you asked them, how did you know that your grandma was the one? Or how did you know that mom was the one? Or how did you test her? Like how why her and not the other girl, right? Like, what really stood out? What did she do? That's the part I want to be curious about. Like, do many people have those types of conversations or ask those specific type of things and kind of use those suggested points to kind of implement into their sort of vetting or the way they navigate in relationships with people, men or women?
Well, the money test I got from my grandfather, because he didn't trust banks, so he always kept money around. So that's where I learned that the money test from. As far as the coffee thing, I learned that from my uncle. He said, don't, like I heard a lot of people say, don't leave with your money, and I never have, never will. And so, like I said, take her out to a nice coffee shop, a nice pastry shop, and just have depth conversation. In-depth conversations that you can get all the answers you're looking for. So I learned that from my uncle. But yes, as far as picking up those things, you hopefully you have an elder You know, preferably your father. You know, he should be that first. I wasn't that blessed where me and my father was on that type of relationship. So it's just unfortunate, but it's what it was. So I had his brother, my uncle, my grandfather, who was able to teach me these things, and I was able to implement and put a lot of ladies to the test, and that allowed me to categorize where I need to put them, and that's what I did.
Anybody else?
I mean, I didn't have, my parents, they have like a pretty good story, but I think back then, like, it wasn't really, I don't know. I've never heard that I knew he was the one story. You know what I mean? It was one of those things like men back then, it was like responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You got a woman pregnant or you went on a few dates, like y'all went together. It wasn't, unless you were fucking Frankie Lyman or some shit, or you was part of the Manhattans, then you was, you know, all over the globe. But, for the average man, you got drafted, you came back, you found a wife, you had kids. It wasn't that big courtship like that we have now and all these games we've been playing. So it was no great story. With my grandmother was like, I hate to say it, a side. You know what I'm saying? And I watched that play out. I watched her wait, uh, oh, I'm gonna leave my wife, and then it's gonna be, we're gonna live together, it's gonna be a happy ending. I watched her live that out to her dying day, and it didn't play out well. So when I see a lot of these women in those situations where they're so adamant about or combative, with men, it's like I've seen the ending. You know what I'm saying? I was in the hospital when she took her last breath, so I've seen how that ends. I was at the nursing home, went through her living at the house because she couldn't do for herself or finding on the floor. I seen how that plays out. So it's not fun. You know what I mean? She was a hard worker. She did some great things, but she was terrible at love, and believe nonsense.
That was an interesting story. I'm glad you shared that with us. It's so funny because I have 4 great, awesome men in my life. People always say, "Do you have a dad?" Well, I have 4: my granddad, my great granddad, and then my daddy. I've always asked the women, but I do need to ask the men, like, their perspective on relationships, so it can be a balance. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because now I'm gonna want to go ask my dad, especially why he chose my mom. But he's chosen 3 wives. My mom is just the first one. So, anyway.
Hey, man, 3 times a charm. 3 times a
But he comes back around. Like, my mom, like, that's his safety net. Like, they're like best friends. And I can understand why the other 2 didn't work out, because my mom is like his best friend. I'm like, I wouldn't be in a relationship with you either. Like, that's weird. Stop. So
Poor dad.
I love my daddy. So.
I know, that's right. So I mean, as far as I don't know, the loyalty test, man. I don't know, ladies. What do y'all do? What is y'all version of a loyalty test? I'm interested in it.
I think I'm more of an observer. I observe what a man is just going to do naturally, and to see how he just is in everyday being. I think women go into a lot of situations wanting things to be a certain way, and a man is courting you or dating you for you to be part of his program. So I'm just going to watch and see how you conduct your program. And I think sometimes time is the test.
For me, I have conversation. For example, if I have, when you're trying to find the leader in your house, I always give, like, if I have an issue, I want his opinion, and I would see how he would handle it. So I always have conversation. I like to know, if there were a dilemma in this case, it's usually a real life dilemma. I'm like, what do you think I should do? And I value their opinion. And if it's something and we align, I'm like, you know what? I feel safe with him. The way he moves, I feel safe with him, so. I guess it's not, I don't really think of it as a test, but it kind of is a test. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what he's going to say, like where, you know, his head is. So that's the only way I test guys. I don't do all that phone stuff or in your DM playing like I'm some other chick. Because some women do that. Watch out.
Yeah. That's totally uncool. And what you saying that, Shante, that's interesting. Because why?
Young.
Okay.
I listen to my students a lot, and they're on them shenanigans. I'm like, you guys, you're just so young. I'm like, that's not, you know, they're talking my cheerleaders, because you know, cheerleaders, they talk, you know, we're outside of the classroom, maybe on the bus, and I can overhear them talking in the background. I'm like, what? Stop. Just please stop. First of all, you're like 15. And what are you doing? It's like they rely so much on the internet and how they do things. And it's like, oh, play like I'm you. Play like you trying to, and it's crazy. But it's older people. When I say older, like 20s, maybe early 30s, probably do the same thing. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you'll be amazed at what women do. Watch out.
This is their era. This is their era. So let them have their fun, man. Let them have their fun. But you know that like you said, everything is the internet. The interpersonal connections are not there anymore, and they won't be there. It'll literally be your Instagram credit score. You know, when they look on Instagram and they direct their friends and their circle of friends to your Instagram, if you get a good credit score from the people that they told to look at you, then you'll be accepted into the group. That's literally how it's going to be. It's going to be like a social media credit score. And from now and in the future, that's how it's going to go. You know, we're going to be dinosaurs, yo.
But do y'all do that anyway, though? Don't y'all ask, like, if it's a girl on the scene, you'll ask your boys, do you know her? Y'all don't do that? I know guys who do that. They'll be like, making sure they homeboys ain't never dated her, or if they know anything about her, if her name is out there, so to speak.
Absolutely. But that was you know, we had to put in the footwork, man. You know what I mean?
But you know something, now in 2023, we'll sit there and look at, again, that Instagram's y'all gonna tell us everything and all things. We'll see who follows you. And we'll scour down. Ain't none of my friends on her. Okay, she got a chance.
And who you follow.
Yes. All of that matters. And the questions I'm gonna ask now, I'm gonna ask the questions based off what I've seen on Instagram. So I don't want to talk to you over the phone. I want to see you in person, because I want to see your scowl on your face when you get upset or mad, because I'm gonna ask that intimate question that you may not want me to see or talk about, because I seen you backing your thing up on your girls trip. Say, baby, what would you think about when you're doing that? What was going on? I mean, what you have to drink? I want to know all of that, everything. So y'all, I know somebody said something about it's like an interview. It is.
It is an interview.
Because with me, it's an interrogation.
That's fine.
If you can interview somebody,
you give me FBI.
Lewis,
as much as I got to invest in you, that's what it needs to be.
Lewis and Hank said something important real quick. Who your friends are. Like if y'all are friends on Facebook and you see, I'm sure you know, Shane, you probably, you know, let's just say it's a dude and you see particular females on his friends list. I'm sure you raising an eyebrow like, hold up. Or me, you know, if I saw certain homeboys, like I got a homeboy that, you know, in a specific fraternity, got a homeboy in a football team. If I see that they're on her friends list, I'm like, damn.
Well, you can't automatically assume that may be his cousin.
Nah.
Well, that's
my heart to tell me. My heart to tell. If I don't have anything to worry about, I'll feel it. But if I feel like I have something to worry about, yeah, my heart would be like, "Yep, it happened."
Just snoop around and find out. Just ask.
So now you.
Go ahead, Jay. My bad.
So now you got to figure out if you're gonna deal with that. Does that really bother you? Because that's somebody you know. You know, it may not even be like a close friend in your inner circle, but you know, an acquaintance, an associate. So you got to figure out if you're gonna deal with that. But you know, you pull up them mutual friends and you like, oh no, how she know this?
Well, I probably failed them tests because I just let, you know, I post like, if you follow me, you know, I post like once every 2 months. And so if they want to be my friend, I'm like, oh, sure, you can be my friend. You're not going to see much, but sure, come into the friendship, you know? So I would just fail that test because I don't know how.
No, you didn't. If you sit there and say you don't post, that's a positive for most men. That's a positive. That lets me know your mind is other places than just social media. Right then and there. You got 2 notches right there alone. For me, now I don't know about for anybody other, man. For me, you got 2 notches already. If you're not, you post once a month. Okay, I can deal with that. That means she finds other things more important than hanging on her phone, on a computer, or laptop, or tablet, whatever the case may be. But another thing is that's why I ask those certain questions in person. I want to see you squirm. I want to see you sweat. I want to see that sweat roll off your head when I ask you these questions about, okay, how you know that guy? How you know this girl? When I ask you about your friends, I need to see all of that. That's important because if I'm investing me and all of me and my last name into you, I need to know these things. I need to know what I'm dealing with.
Gotcha. Anybody else who want to go to the super chat so we can wrap this thing up on this great Sunday?
Okay, why would you want to wrap it up? We had so much fun.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We don't have to.
I know, that's right.
The last thing I was going to say, I'm sorry. The last thing I was
Go
going to say
ahead.
is if a woman has had a father in her life, then a lot of times she's testing a man, and it, like I said, I wait to see what men are going to do, because a lot of men are leaders, they're proactive, they know what they want in their life. And I had a father like that. So a lot of women who have fathers, they're kind of matching that man up with their father. Can this man provide me the life that my father provided me? Is it capable? Not even you don't have to be walking into it, but is it capable? So that's another way that women test men. If they have fathers, if they have someone that has been in their life, who's consistent, who's knowledgeable, who's aware, who has purpose, that's another way that they test men.
Another thing too, what's so interesting? We've hit on all different examples, and we brought up different case studies. But one thing I didn't get to hear anybody bring up is another way you test them is bring them around your friends and family. You know what I'm saying? Particularly your mother. If you're a man, like your mom or sister, that female who has or takes up an important space in your life, right? You will quickly notice they will pick up women. This is the thing about it. I don't think women get a lot of credit. They pick up on things that we as men don't pick up or see, right? And I think vice versa. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't kind of use to their benefit, is utilize their family as that sort of that gatekeeping. Like, what I'm saying? We're ushering you into our fold, into our family, into our circle, right? Because you're affiliated or dating this person or courting them towards marriage, right? I think that a lot of people tend to kind of be like, you like me, I like you, and they just date, and they'll get introduced to the family and find out of each other maybe 9-10 months later. They've been dealing with each other for almost a year, and now they're finally getting introduced to the family. And then always that first interaction, they're like, I don't know about him, but she's in too deep. She's too invested. She likes him too much. The butterflies are high, right? But they're catching all the red flags that you miss or that you fumbled in the beginning, right? And that's something that people, a lot of women don't tend to kind of use. I think sometimes men too don't use to their benefit as well.
I agree with that. That vetting process, letting your elders vet for you, that'd be so beneficial. That's probably where we get it wrong. Before them feelings get too involved, when you can't walk away, especially for women. Because once them feelings are involved, child, that mind's going out the door.
You fighting your family.
As men need to bring the ladies to the women, and then the women need to bring the men to the men. A man shouldn't be telling me about a woman. He shouldn't. He shouldn't be vetting a woman. It should be another woman, because right now, a woman already knows. A woman already knows if she's going to be right. Y'all see those around the corners, under the covers type situations that other men mostly won't see. They might be enamored about her beauty and just starstruck by beauty. Man, you got to keep with her. Why? Just because she's pretty? Oh, granddaddy, I need you to see more than that. But that's when you go to grandmama. Grandmama, what do you think? Yeah, I don't like she moved. Matter of fact, she didn't go get your plate for you, baby. I had to get your plate. Oh, okay. Thanks for helping me. I didn't even pay attention to that. So the little things like that we got to do. I know a lot of people will go say, Shantae, you dating a man, you'll go to your sisters or your little sister friends, however you want call them, and they say, what do y'all think? Now, there's nothing wrong with getting their opinion, but I'm gonna take small fragments of it and what does my daddy think? What does my uncle think? What does my grandfather think? And they should have the loudest voice.
Agree.
Yeah, we can sniff out nonsense. You know? Like my sister, she's older, but she bring dudes around, and I'll be like, yeah, nah, fam, he's not it.
Agreed. Anybody else? Super chats. All right, you guys. Nobody want to help me out? Y'all saw how horrible I did the last time.
Nah, I got you.
Shantae, I was testing. I want to see where you was. That's what I was. That's why I wanted you to read.
Oh, testing me for what? Wait. What?
I'm just messing with you.
I thought I did a pretty good job for the person who can't see.
Shout out to the blind.
You bring them up. All right, Jonathan Barronville, $9.99. The funny thing is, hearing women like that talk negatively about coffee dates makes it clear that it's an excellent filter men should be using. Fact. If she rejects a coffee date, she ain't the one. Hunt Inc. $4.99. Shan is correct, and as a Gen X man, I apologize for my part in wrecking chicks like her. Jonathan Barronville, $9.99. Men should not be allowing women to dictate the parameters of the date. Set the standard. If she has a problem with it, let her ass go. Time out with the $4.99 super chat. I think she came here with an agenda, either to paint LAPEEF Net in a bad light. I'm just saying. Lamont R. Davis, $10 super chat. Life will test your relationship anyway. Focus on your person, interests, and willing to commit to you. That's all. Do not be your own demon in a relationship. Charles Keys Sr., $5 super chat. For real, 30% of black men have other men children, no loyalty from wife. Jason C., $5 super chat. And coffee shops don't just serve coffee. Pick another beverage. Yeah.
Facts.
True.
Sir Shy, 87, $2 super chat. I grew up on MySpace and Black Planet.
I love MySpace.
I know, that's right.
That was the best one to me. I'm sorry.
That taught coding, yo. Like I learned how to code through I didn't know it was coding at the time. Yeah, I didn't know that's what it was at the time. Jonathan Barronville, $9.99. I like asking uncomfortable personal questions I already know the answer to. How she responds when she doesn't know you already know the answer can tell you a lot.
Exactly.
Ronnie, $4.99. Fellas, check behind that toilet.
What's behind the toilet?
Nah,
dirt if you don't clean shit.
That's what I'm talking about. What is it? Clean? Look at how clean she
That's
is.
what he said.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I was confused.
Make sure what no man there he done pissed by just waking up.
Okay, they droplets fall different than ours, so you gonna know.
Okay, you guys, that's been a great. Did you guys want to add anything? I don't want to prematurely end this.
Ooh, this one was a show today.
It was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like
We got through it.
Yeah, my bad too, Shane. My bad, yo.
Hey, you was wrong for that. I was like,
my bad, yo.
I was not ready for that.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. I wish I could have helped.
Friday night, we'll live in more chill.
Yeah, nah, that water, I had to clean up so much water, so I'm waiting for the plumber now, but it's crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry
What happened, big bro?
Man, the bathroom started running and flooding, and luckily it flooded in the hallway where there's no carpet. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to just throw a bunch of towels down real quick. So
so you're
got it out the way.
For that.
Right.
Did you turn off the water, right?
Yeah, that, and yo, if you got a house, that is the most important thing with flooding. You better find out where to turn the water off. Yep, that's the first thing, yo.
That sucks. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you got two spots. You got two spots to turn the main water off, inside or outside.
Right. I did it outside. Yeah.
That's the
We
best
have
spot
a
right
super
there.
chat, y'all.
We teaching game here, Shantae.
Well, I knew about the one outside. At least I know where one is.
Oh Lord.
Lamont R. Davis, $2 super chat. Pick a super chat like to the panel.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being up here with us. And thank you, everybody in the chat who was here the entire time through these shenanigans on a great Sunday. Now we're going to go about it.
Some people need to go get baptized.
Go get baptized.
We all need to be in church with JR. Shoot, we should have went with him.
We should have went with JR.
Yes, hey JR, just send one up for us, baby. That's all I can ask.
Right, JR in church, he probably had to walk out the pool, you know.
For real, like, look, he was like the parent with the children acting up. Like, I done brought y'all here and y'all acting all crazy.
Right. Thank God Anton showed up, because I don't know, we probably still be.
You know how the grandmother had to reach over the pew and hit you real quick in the head. Like, y'all better chill out.
Right. All right, you guys. Happy Sunday, and we will see you guys next week. See ya.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Peace.
See ya.